You are listening to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkRadio.com.
Looking for something new in sci-fi or fantasy? Check out what Brandon Sanderson, Orson Scott Card, Nnedi Okorafor, and others chose as the best news stories of the year in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology from 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
I can't help it. I love that shit, man. Sorry, guys. It's probably not going to be the intro for this show, but I do like playing it. It's fun to listen to. Can get you pretty riled up, too. Everyone, welcome to News on the Flip Side, Friday night, late night edition. It's a 9 to midnight edition. I hope all of y'all are awake. If I can stay up to midnight, man, it's been hot, crazy, working like a slave lately. We're going to definitely talk a little UFO tonight because it's hard to catch up. You know, I've been noticing the overall, I hate to say it like this, lackluster interest in this. Now, I heard for years from all the everyday people, oh, well, if it was real, the government would want to know and the newspaper would want to know. Well, guess what? The government wants to know. The newspapers want to know. Well, whatever newspapers are left. Let me put it like this: what kind of media are they these days? Well,
print media.
Yeah. Well, do you even have print media anymore? So you got.
They still make physical newspapers. Yeah.
Not many places do anymore. I noticed like a lot of states now, or a lot of cities now, their print paper went to online paper. Well, I should say online news now, so it's not really a paper anymore. Well, you know, it's hard to get out there and sell in papers. Some people, you know, want to get all up in the paper. It is messy and a pain in the ass. You get ink all over your fingers.
Makes fingers black, yeah.
So yeah, there's advantages to it, and they can cram a lot more on their web pages than they can in their paper.
Well, but they're still making them. They're like New York Times, Washington Post, things like that. But they also have their own websites too. Yeah. So they're branching out.
I think the New York Times sold one newspaper last month. It's maybe two if they were lucky. I'm not hating people. You know, I grew up in a family where, you know, we got the paper every day. We used to have paper drives and all sorts of wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
I personally have not touched a newspaper in 3 decades.
Well, yeah, maybe at least that for me.
Oh, wait, maybe 2. I might be lying. Let me think. Katrina was 2.5 decades. Yes, we used to go. There used to be a place not far from where I live now. The first time I lived on the coast, yeah, we'd ride down there, and they'd have like the New York Times, the Houston Chronicle. They had some of the big papers, so it was nice and fun to go get them and read and see what was going on around the world in their papers. You know, what kind of stuff was happening local, because you're going to see a lot more in their newspaper than you're going to see on their half-hour news show. So it was fun. It was something to do. And every now and then, if we were traveling, it was nice to see what was going on and things like that. It was fun. What do you mean, Johnny? Is aliens real? What the hell? Wait, where are you at? You just popped up my screen and disappeared. Oh, okay. You're on Facebook. All right. Yeah, wait. Why is it doing that? Sorry, guys. Let me fix this because this will bug me all night. All right. Let me put you messenger weirdos over. Where the hell? Okay, that'll work right there. All right. We'll leave y'all right there. I don't know. There's been a lot going on. I can't. My problem is, and I can kind of understand some of the people. I'm having a little hard time myself getting behind some of the witnesses. It's not that some of them are pretty good. I mean, they're like, oh, you're high. I'm Mr. Navy guy. You know what? I saw a UFO, and you're going to believe me. Well, I do believe you, dude. I really think you saw a UFO. I'm not even challenging you on that. And they're just telling you what happened while they were chasing these things down. So, what is it? Crush guy, whatever his name the other day, he's giving testimony. If I can find it, I'll put it up in a little while. Or if anybody listening knows where it is, you can send it over to me. But anyway, he's like, oh, no, man, there's no way we can shoot these things down. He said they were like there and they were gone. They were back. They were going. Now, the other guy says, oh, we've shot down numerous ones and have numerous non-human entities. Okay, maybe so. So let me ask y'all something. If the Chinese was to capture our soldiers and not give them back, what do you think would happen? We'd get in war, buddy, because we'd be going to get our people back and our technology as well. And I just don't see a really, 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 really advanced alien race saying, okay, we're going to let you keep this technology. You know what, humans? You're not dangerous. You're not destructive. You don't try to blow shit up all the time. You're not trying to kill each other. So we're going to let you have this technology. Okay. Oh, I know there might be some evil entities. Yes, Barbara, I know this. Probably, ooh, yeah. I'm sure there is. There's evil all over our planet. I'm sure there are in other places as well.
It's like the statement in the Bible. We make God said we will make man in our image, in our own likeness. And if you interpret God as alien, and aliens like to have war and kill things, which is evident throughout the Bible. They try to kill man how many times? 3 or 4 times. So yeah, there's good and bad aliens, just like there's good and bad humans. The nature of the nature.
Well, my problem with all of this is, Denise, is because humans have to make this all about them. Okay, the aliens are visiting our planet. They're legitimately here visiting our planet, doing whatever they've been doing on our planet for several 100,000 years, probably. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's completely about us, meaning they have their own agendas. There's things that they're doing for their own selves. And it's not using our bodies to make theirs better. Please don't believe that shit. I'm just telling you, don't believe that. Well, okay, let's say they were. Why wouldn't they go to the reptilians or the human aliens and say, hey, the Greys, why don't you help us out? And since there are human and reptilian aliens here, are they doing the same thing as the Greys, making their bodies better? Well, I don't think so.
And there's at least one agenda, possibly even 3 or 4. That each, if the rumor has that the reptilians, the insectoids, and the Greys are kind of working together, sort of like a corporation.
Well, they probably all in some group.
And if they all have their own agendas, that's 3. And then if they have an agenda as a group, that's 4.
Yeah, but you don't know how many sub-agendas they have from the main agenda.
No.
What was that, Marco? No, I mean, humans need to feel important, so we have to make it about us. So, even though we're the ones being taken and whatever happening, we still need to make us feel like we're the greatest thing in it. Bad. First off, you don't learn anything, and secondly, how can you see an alien race that's crossing the cosmos to come here? God knows what other technologies, and think you're superior than them, morally or ethically or technologically, because you don't even know what their ethics are. And you got to remember something: what our morals are may not be what their morals are. They may look at things much differently than we do.
They have a different moral compass, and we don't know for sure that they're emotionally and more physically advanced than us. They may be stronger physically, some of them, but what if they're a emotionally not superior race to us, and they just happened upon these technologies? Maybe they won, got some kind of luck in a war. Like thousands of centuries ago, and they have the technology, but they didn't develop it. You know what I mean? They're
like them dumb humans in Stargate.
Yeah, Star Wars, Star Trek. Yeah, we don't know. They could have stumbled across it. You never know.
Well, there's been rumors for years that the United States and other countries have been looking for technologies in the Middle East. One of them is supposed to be a gate, but there's supposed to be other types of technologies they've been looking for as well. There's supposed to be a resurrection of something that resurrects you, something that rejuvenates you. And just recently, the government announced, along with some major pharmaceuticals, said they should be able to stop the aging gene relatively shortly. They've already stopped it. I think it was in 6 different animals now. Well, what they did is they stopped the telomeres from getting any shorter, which stops you from aging. There are 2 rumors, unsubstantiated by the way, that says there are 2 pills that will be coming out around the same time that the one that stops your telomeres comes out, that can reverse the damage of aging up to 20. I can't remember if it was 20 or 30. But regardless, they said it would be extremely painful. No, it was actually legit scientists talking about it. But
they've been saying for years and years, just doctors and cancer scientists, they're closer to finding a cure for aging than they were for cancer.
Yeah, no, well, I was listening to Uncle Cracker yesterday talking about cancer and how he's going to cure cancer. And I'm thinking, man, your time's getting short, Joe. Let's get this shit cured and move on. I don't even hear him talk about it anymore. I really don't. I never hear him talk about, let's cure cancer. Well, Donnie, the aliens probably could cure cancer, but do you want to let any more? Look, there's already 8 billion of us on the planet right now. The other day when I asked Alexa when I was live on the radio show what it was, and she said 79999 or some shit.
Just round it up.
Yeah, so it's 8 billion. Well, by now it might even gone up. You never know. I haven't asked her, but
it may be. It's a fluctuating number. It won't dip below 7 billion, but you're gonna have X amount of people die on the planet in one day, and X amount of children born on that same day. So it's
right now it's I think it's worldwide. I think it's 1 birth for every 2 births for every 1 death right now, but that's changing in a lot of countries like America. It's almost 50. It's almost at a standstill. Not quite. We're still inching a little bit up. But America's actually, they say, has been moving back towards breeding again. So somebody told me the other day 400 million. I haven't asked. You know what? Alexa, how many people live in the United States? Don't y'all love Alexa's on radio with it? Listen to that.
The United States is 340 million.
Oh, see, only 340 million. That ain't nothing. I mean, that's like India's throwaways and China's throwaways. Yes. I mean, really. I mean, that's nothing. Well, Brazil's as big as we are, but not quite as big as we are. And I don't think they have as many people as we do. You better go check your math on that. I don't think so. But Brazil does have a lot of UFO sightings, a lot of extraterrestrial sightings. There's a lot of activity down there. And you might be right. They might have won Miss Universe more than anybody. I don't know. I'd have to check, but it sounds right to me. What do you mean? Can you call up a UFO? Yeah, I guess if you're a contactee, if you're an abductee or a contactee, if you've been contacted in some shape, form, or fashion, yes, you can probably call one up. If you're everyday Joe, probably not. You can go out there and have fun though with your laser lights. By the way, do not point freaking laser lights at airplanes. Yes, it's serious. First, you can harm the pilot. Secondly, your ass is going to jail if they catch you. Oh yeah, buddy, that's a big offense. You can't do that. But you can go out there and have some fun and see if you can call them, see if you can find them, or go to spots like Gulf Breeze, Florida, where they show up on a fairly regular basis. Places in the Hudson Valley in New York, places out west and around not Cheyenne Mountain, Shasta Mountain, and there's another one up there. They show up around pretty much the volcano. Oh hell, I can't remember.
Oddly enough, if you look at some of the maps online of UFO sightings and pinpoints on the map, they kind of generally follow the same areas as Bigfoot sightings, which is
Gayfoot sightings, man. Gayfoot.
Doesn't mean that they correlate, but those maps do overlay a little bit.
What do you mean? Why am I hating on Bigfoot? Hey, do you know where I live? I live in between two of the biggest. So on the right side of, I should say, on the west side of me, on the Louisiana Texas state line is the Sabine River Valley. There's more Bigfoot sightings there than anywhere. Plus, there's more Bigfoot hunters there than anywhere. And then on the other side of us, down by the right where Alabama meets into Florida, is where they say they always see the skunk ape at. Yeah. What do you mean? You mean someone on my property? I'm gonna shoot it. The fuck? Scoop beep. Excuse my language. No. No, indeed not. You some 16-foot skunky thing coming walking up in my yard. You better be able to speak English. If not, you're gonna meet your maker.
Boom.
What do you mean if they're an alien? Well, if they're an alien, I won't be able to shoot them. I won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, he'll hit you with the laser beam first.
Yes, I mean, there have been UFO sightings correlated with Bigfoot.
Yes, I think most of them are a bunch of bunk, but yeah.
Yeah, like he just said, most of them are a bunch, but there are a few that haven't been explained yet. And as far as we know, it's ET studying Bigfoot.
Well, if you think about it, if you follow the primate tree, humans are. It's hard to get. I don't have enough room in the window. Humans are like over here, and then I can't. I don't have enough room. You got humans on one limb. You've got the great apes on the other, and then the monkeys on the next, and then below that, like way below, before those splinter off, there's one that juts off with the Pithecines, the Australo and Gigantopithecus type primates, which a lot of people think that might be Bigfoot. And to think about it, if there's an alien race here studying the human race, and there's a branch that's hidden from us, like the Bigfoots, they would have absolutely been looking at them too.
Yeah, well, no, they would have. What is that, Jack? Biggie feet. Bigfoot's been around for a long time. People have talked about seeing them. It's not just here. There's, some people, the Indians call them Sasquatch, but don't forget the Yetis have the snowman up there, the big, whatever they call it up there. They're not just seen in America. They're seen in other places. I don't know what they are. No, really, they could be any damn thing.
Yeah.
Lloyd Pye thought they were the evolution of Neanderthal. That's what he thought they were. The guy, the alien skull guy, the guy who was doing the DNA work on the alien skull. That's what he thought they were. I have no idea what they are.
Well, the way it works is like this: the Sasquatch and the skunk apes and the Bigfoot types, they demonstrate on almost all observations primate type behavior, monkey type behavior. The Yeti, on the other hand, demonstrates more of a bear-like mentality because it is aggressive. It has a different type of claw. Bigfoot have hand like us. They don't have claws. They have fingernails just like us. The Yeti, however, has claws like a bear would, and it's a 9-foot, 10-foot creature, which is also territorial and violent. Bigfoot tend to run and cower from humans, whereas the few human Yeti encounters have usually ended in violence.
Yes, they're the abominable snowman.
Yeah, that's why it's called the abominable snowman. Yeah, because it'll tell you.
What do you mean, Jack? What are you talking about? I do carry a gun. You're damn right I carry it. Look, people. Somebody asked me one time, I was way down in the bayou in Louisiana. We were out on a case. And the guy says, why do you carry that gun with you? I said, because, you never know what you're going to run into. He said, it's for aliens. I said, no, aliens would disarm the gun. I said, it's not for the aliens. I said, it's for protection. He said, against like alligators. And legitimately, there are alligators and snake in the places we go sometimes.
And you probably have a pretty bad wild boar problem down there.
Yeah, they get wild boars all over. They got brown bear, black bear. Supposedly, we don't have panthers, but someone seen one the other day again. Got a picture of it. Seen one in Florida. Florida's not supposed to have them either, but obviously somebody don't know what the hell they're talking about. But oh hell, I forgot what I was going to say. Jesus, what was we talking about? My brain went right out the window.
We're talking about the skunk apes and the Bigfoots and
Uncle Bigfoots. No, there was something else I was going to tell you. Damn, I hate when that happens. Sorry, guys. I know it went right out my brain. What can I tell you? Brain's been getting used a lot today, man. I apologize.
And if you're out in the sun long enough, it stops working properly. So,
I don't. You mean, do I personally believe in Bigfoot? I believe is a strong word. It really is. It's like saying, do you believe in God? You know
That's
what
how
I
I feel
mean?
about it. If I hadn't seen a Bigfoot, I wouldn't think that it exists. But I've seen it. It exists. It's very, very human-like. It's not alien. Didn't disappear. Didn't show up out of nowhere. It smells like the Dickens. They are awful smelling.
That's why they call them skunk apes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a combination of like dried up dirty diaper and skunk. It's nasty.
Yes. You should offer him a joint next time you see him. Say, hey, I got something for you, Mr. Ape. Why don't you come over here and get some candy bars and stack them up on the side of you, or maybe some beef jerky.
He's
He
probably
might
very
like that.
familiar with what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just
beef
ask.
jerky, definitely elk jerky.
Yeah, so he'd be like, yeah, give me that. He'd smoke a little bit. He's like, yeah, you my best friend now. What was that Harry and the Hendersons? Yeah, there you go, something like that. People,
Yeah.
a lot of y'all probably don't know Harry and the Hendersons. You'd have to go look it up.
80s TV show.
No, we're gonna get actually we're gonna get into the news in the second hour, but I don't. These hearings are bugging me. There's just something about them that just doesn't. It just I don't know. It feels more of a distraction to me than it does legitness. Well, because I mean, first off, they're not even answering the right questions, and then they're bringing in people. Okay, and I understand bringing in these gold star military people. I really truly understand that. I mean, it gives it credibility, so that's great. He's all American. He ain't gonna lie, man. No, he ain't gonna lie. Hey, Bob, you know what? $100,000. Really? Okay, I'll go. Don't believe that shit. But I honestly don't have any problem with those witnesses. Those witnesses, the military witnesses, I haven't had a problem with. The only one I've had a problem with is the Gresh guy and the secret or whatever he was, not Secret Service. He was one of the services. He was a spy basically, and for 14 years, and then all of a sudden he decided he wanted to come forward and talk about alien stuff, and for no reason other than he wanted to come forward. He says he don't get paid for it. Well, come to find out, that's not true. I checked into some networks that he did. See, let me tell y'all something, guys. Big networks have to pay you. If they want to use the stuff, they have to pay you. So if you don't want the money, I guess some of them will allow you to do a donation, but most of them will tell you take the money and donate it to something. So, but they pay you. I know because I've personally been paid by networks, and
Yeah,
I
they're
did.
obligated to. Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, the very first interview I ever did in DC, first time I was ever being interviewed in DC, I said, "Oh no, the interview was great. I don't need the money." And they said, "Oh no, we have to pay." He said, "We'll pay you scale, but we have to pay you." Back then, I think scale was $480 an hour or something, and they said we have to pay you. And now they pay me a lot more when I speak, but still, it's anytime you say, if somebody asks me, "Well, Joe, are you going to go to lecture? Are you going to get paid for some of it?" I'd say, "Yeah, some of them will get paid for. Some of them are going to be free. Some of them will get paid for." And if what was different, I'd have to tell them. It would depend on what was going on then. But still, well, people, you got to understand, you can't go joy jaunting around the country if you're not getting paid, because I have bills. And my wife is going to be like, "Excuse me, did you pay the bills, Joe?" "No." "Oh, guess what?" No, I mean, you can't do it. So I don't getting paid for this stuff doesn't bother me as much as when you tell me you're not and you are. Right off the bat, that makes you untrustable. So you want me to believe you, even though we know you're a spy and a lying bastard. You want me to believe you, even though you've lied twice now and gotten caught twice. And I noticed the media, even though they've kind of been hating on the guy, I haven't talked about that. It's no, I wouldn't. You mean speak in front of Congress and on television? No. I've already turned that down now. Not going to happen. Yeah, they could do that. They could subpoena me, and I would just sit there and go yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes. That would be the extent of my answers.
Give them nowhere to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you see, that's what I'm saying, and well, that's why I don't cut the guy no slack for wanting to talk about some stuff behind closed doors, because I understand that some things can have consequences. But this guy, he was a spy. He knew a lot of stuff coming into this. So I just feel he wants us to feel like empathy for him. And I don't know why, because he was a spy and he knew this coming in. And let me tell you what, you don't get to be a spy because you're a nice guy, okay?
Yeah.
Don't ever believe that shit. I mean, they'll make you believe it, but don't believe it.
And there seems to be a pattern like this. There's always been, congressional hearings, and a couple of guys come out that sound legit, and then there's always one or two in the background that are either sketchy as hell or like debunkers.
Well, and
And
then
it keeps on going like that. It's a cyclical thing.
well, I got a friend of mine called me, a researcher called me the other day. He said, 70 types of aliens. Where the bleak are they at? I said, there's no 70 types of aliens here, dude. I said, calm down. I said, as far as I know, the Greys won't even let anybody on the planet anymore but them. I mean, they allow them, the reptilians, the humanoid types, the tall whites that are out there at Area 53, the cleanup crew, which is the Browns, and they can't ever tell the light beings anything if they want to come. But other than that, the planet's kind of closed. Well, I think whenever this could have been 6,000 years ago, this could have been 600,000 years ago. I don't really know. I think somewhere in that time frame, we were being taken advantage of as a planet, as a species. We were being taken advantage of. It's because the Sumerians talk about this. The Sumerians talk about the creation of us, and they talk about the first creation of man, which was a couple of different things they tried. Like Dog Man, Hawk Man, just a couple of different things they tried.
Several different
And-
versions that didn't
yeah,
always
so-
necessarily work so good.
And so they wanted something. They just wanted basically a slave is what they wanted. Somebody that's not going to talk back. Somebody that's going to do its job. Somebody that's what the Sumerians wanted, and that's what the Sumerians end up creating. They looked a lot like us, but that's who they were. And the Dogons talk about the Nemus that came around the same time as these aliens did, and for some reason, the new Neros, whatever they call themselves, Nemos, decided that they wanted to interfere. So now, story goes that these are reptilians. It's one. I think there was 3 sects here of the reptilian race were actually here at the same time, and they said what they did was, because when they landed the craft, they actually put it underwater, and because the Dogon talk about them coming out from the water with the ship underwater.
Very similar to the Jomon.
Yeah, and so they say they come out, and then eventually they went down. They were teaching the Dogon different things, and eventually, and they were teaching them the star system, the Draco system, the Dogon system, the Dog system, Dog Star, where one of the colonies is. Everybody thinks it's a reptilian homeworld. It's a reptilian colony, but from what I understand, reptilian homeworld and the human homeworld's quite a bit ways away these days. Well, Greece, you know what? Some people used to think that it was Mars, and it was Mars, Earth. Yes, there was Mars. There was 4 planets. There was Mars, Earth. Stop it. Mars. It was Mars, Earth, Venus, and then there was the planet in between the Earth in between Mars and Jupiter,
Which is now the asteroid belt.
which is the asteroid belt. And they think something happened. They don't know if there was a war, if the damn big planet just got crushed by Jupiter. They don't know what happened. And a lot of people seem to think that cloud is Planet X.
Yeah. Well, something caused that 5th planet between Mars and Jupiter to disintegrate. And one of the working theories in the current, one of the legitimate science theories, is that the core of that planet struck Earth, and Earth would have been pointing like this as it spun around, struck Earth and tilted it 27 degrees off kilter, whatever it is now, and also embedded the massive metal core we have, which gives us our magnetic shield.
What did I just do? Hold on. Okay, what the hell? I lost the mic.
Well, that's Mike and your video.
All right, what did it? Well, I want to give me the video back. Well, while I'm looking for the video, guys, still, it was weird because it could have been true. We don't know. I mean, they do believe that Mars was a lot like Earth 55 million years ago. They think Venus could possibly have been there, and this other world could have been there as well in us.
But they also think Venus is from another solar system because every planet and moon that was developed in this solar system rotates counterclockwise. But Venus operates the other way around, meaning it developed in a different, like how the water on the southern hemisphere goes down the drain the wrong way. Planet Venus rotates the wrong way versus the other planets in the system.
No, Venus does. No, you didn't know that? Okay.
Yeah, it does, and it could have been captured from Jupiter and thrown into the inner core. Who knows when? 100,000 years ago, 500,000 years ago. Nobody knows.
Jackie says it's an old wives' tale that the toilets spin the other way. No, it's not. I've been down there. Sorry, I don't want to break you up.
Not.
You got to cross the equator. No, not Mexico. Okay, first up, people, Mexico is North America. I know y'all get confused with this shit, but Mexico is North America. Everybody always wants to make it South America.
It's north of the equator, so it's Central
anyway.
America.
You have to cross the equator. Once you cross the equator, they spin the opposite way.
Yeah.
You don't even have to believe us for that. Just watch the weathers, how they move around, and notice how it rarely ever crosses the equator from one side to the other. Well, I don't know. I'm not God. I didn't create the damn planet. You'd have to ask her, him, she, it, whatever it is. Well, I wanted to cover all bases. We got this new movement out there, the woke movement. I have never met God personally, and don't plan on anytime soon either. Oh no. Now, I do have a bit of God in my house, 2 bits of God in my house. Do y'all know how y'all can get bits of God in your house? So there's an animal on this planet that they all have a piece of God in them. Did y'all know this? And you know how you know? Because if you spell God backwards, it's their name. Do y'all know what God spelled backwards is, people? You don't, do you? It's dog, D-O-G. And so what is dog spelled backwards? God. So like I said, God has just broke off a bunch of his little pieces and put them into the dogs. And that's why it spells backwards. And then, see, he knows if you don't treat your dog right, it's a special hell for you people. I'm just trying to help y'all out. It's kind of like the Babylon 5 theory, Stardust, the star stuff. But I'm just trying to help you people out. No, I'm serious. What, jackass? Spell God backwards. I mean, what are you, dumb?
G-O-D-D-O-G.
What, do you think that was a slight? Somebody did that on purpose? Do you think in the last 2,000 years or 6,000 years that someone didn't realize this, but me? Get out of here, man. I wish. I'd like to get credit for it, but it ain't me.
There's very, very little evidence for the origin of the word dog. We don't know where it comes from. Doesn't match with anything else.
Because it's the enlightened one. And see, when you throw your puppies in a bag and throw them out in the swamp and let the alligators eat them, ooh, that's bad. God just said, for each puppy, that's a strike, buddy. Just trying to help you people up. I know some of my friends like to use their puppies for alligator bait, so bad.
That's messed up.
Gene, that's a fact. In the old days, they used to have beagle hounds and other hunting hounds, and they would have big litters sometimes, and the puppies they couldn't get rid of, they'd use for alligator bait. Yeah, because a 5 or 10 foot alligator is worth a lot of money. Nowadays, you can sell the meat, the skin, the skull. A good gator make you from 10 to 40 grand, just depending on the size. I know. While it's munching your leg off. That's true too. So what are you talking about? You mean, no, nobody should have a problem giving testimony behind closed doors. But then that goes against what everybody's saying about, being out in the open. What do you mean? I don't want to be out in the open. It's not okay. Most of what I would be saying anyway, I've already said somewhere. It's probably on tape or television somewhere. But it's not that. I don't want to have to spend, since I own a media company myself, I don't want to have to spend the next 10 years fighting with media companies over this shit. They're not going to let this go. And a lot of them don't believe this. And as soon as somebody turns, either the Republicans or the Democrats, half the media is going to turn with them. Right now, everybody's like, oh, look how cute. Look how cute. Look how cute. Look how cute. It's like training little puppies. I'm not being mean. I want disclosure. I want you dumbasses to know that there is real. No, I'm not being mean, because sometimes people, look, there's a thing. When I meet people individually, they're usually intelligent, brilliant, intellectual, really got their stuff together. When I meet in them groups, it's like, hee-haw. I'm not kidding you people. It's just how it is. Because people are easily panicked. One starts, and it kind of makes the rest of them, and the next thing you know, you got, there's an experiment, I forgot what it's called, where they set something down, they set a bunch of pendulums down, and they start them all going the same way. I mean, he started them all going different ways. Each one's going different ways. After a few minutes, you start noticing more and more swinging the same way. By the end of the experiment, they're all swinging the same way. That's how people are.
Well, yeah, that's very true. People individually or in small batches are fairly okay to deal with, but in large groups and batches, like you said, they're panicky herd mentality creatures. That's one of the reasons why it's illegal to yell fire in a movie theater. People will just panic to the point where they'll come to choke points, and if there is a real fire, none of them are getting out.
But we've already seen that where it was I think it was in Colorado, somewhere there was one. Somebody pulled the alarms and everybody ran. People, you should never panic with anything. Even when you know you're going to die, you still shouldn't panic. Well, I don't know until that happens. I can find out. As far as I know, the government's asking some of the right questions. Some of the right questions they're not. So the other day I'm listening. So Greer's over there taking all kind of credit for all kind of stuff. Stephen, stay out of this. Let the Fed run this. Your questions are not that great. And talking about dimensional shit that Congress is not going to understand is a waste of everybody's time. And your theory, I don't really think is correct to start off with. I don't see a bunch of physicists trying to jump on it. He was talking about the way you cross through dimensions. So when you jump from one place to the other, you have to cross through all these dimensions. But he's making it like you're physically having to pull through each one when you're really just kind of blinking past them. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that complicates things, I mean, like, it's not like this subject doesn't get enough ridicule as it is. Let them at least divulge what they want to divulge, and then we can go, oh, how did they get here? Are they a different dimension? Are they a different time frame? Are they, are they us from the future?
Because Stephen's been wanting to try to change the Greys to a dimensional creature for a long time since he got into this, and he's thinking he can use this dimensional thing to do it. Oh yeah, they're from the other dimension, but nothing really suggests they're from another dimension, and if they're from the dimension next to us, they should be human anyway. And then that gives credit to some of the people who think the Greys are us anyway from the future. Well, first off, John, I'm not exactly sure why the Greys would want to travel back and screw around with us instead of just fixing wherever they are or moving off planet. I really don't believe by then they won't have the ability to move off planet. I mean, pretty soon Elon's moving us off planet, so I'm not really feeling by whatever time this is we won't be off world. And there's other things that say the Greys are from other places deeper in space and are much older than people like to talk about. Out of most of the cases we got that where people have been able to hear or sense an age for the race itself, it's well like 1.5, 1.3 billion years old. Yes, it's not like us that are 2 million years old. No, it's not even the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, you got to understand. And so, let's say you got shrunk down to an ant and you got an ant where, oh, wait, you'd be eaten. Never mind. Shit. Sorry about that, people. I just got somebody eaten. Well, I was going to say, how would it be? How would you be able to convince them that you were whatever, but you'd be eaten? They would already eat you and put you in storage. Yeah, they wouldn't even try to communicate with you. So well, in the cosmos there's a lot goes on in the cosmos, guys. A lot. And
yeah, it's 13.5 billion years old. There's potentially civilizations out there that are, so far advanced. We can't imagine how advanced they would be.
Yeah, well, that's what I was getting ready to say. There's so many things when you think about these races. How do they really feel about dealing with us? And that's what I was trying to say with the ants. I mean, how would you feel like dealing with ants all the time? Or even that, we watch hunters when they go out and dart animals. Just say you had to do that 10, 15, 20 times a day. I mean, eventually that would get old and get wore down. Here's a Greys over here seeming to do this all the time. Not just the Greys, reptilians and humans are doing it as well. And they seem to do it so nonchalantly and on such just a smooth basis for the kind of numbers they're saying that they're taking. You just wonder how they pull it off. Michael Lester. Where are you from, Michael? Where in Illinois? Never heard of it. I can't even pronounce it. Akalakaluka. I have no idea what you just wrote. Anyway, what do you want? You mean how many aliens are living here on Earth? I don't know. Jay is an alien, so he might be able to tell you. I don't.
Could be. What was that number that Alexa gave you? 7.999 billion. Just say 8
Yeah,
billion.
yeah. There you go. That's that. They make the rest of it. Yes, I I don't believe all those stories. I believe some of the stories. I just don't believe all of it. Like the Dulcie stories. I don't believe those. I don't believe they're running underground having firefights with Greys. I've seen Grey technology up close. That's they know firefight Grey would have just and the whole everything in the tunnel would be dead. No, that's what I'm saying. It's bullshit. Something you ever think. I got to find this little kid on TikTok that bullshit. I'm getting that for this show. So when people start bullshitting, I can put it up there. No, there's a lot of stuff in ufology I don't believe. It's what gets you. So I said this the other night when Jay and I was talking Wednesday night. I started out in the field as a debunker, not as a ufologist. It's just some stuff I found there was just no reasonable explanation for. So I started looking for myself. And the more I looked, the more I found. And the more people who came. And that was another weird thing. People would just come up out of the blue. I was at work one day. I was a general manager for McDonald's, of all places. And I was out on the front counter with two employees. And we're talking. This lady just looks up at me and she starts telling me, you got to be careful in Biloxi. The aliens coming abduction. The two kids started giggling. She said, no, I'm serious. And she went on for like 45 minutes to tell me what happened. Really? Oh, when I used to train for I used to train managers for, I can't remember the name of the company now. Easy Serve. It was a conglomerate of like 4 different convenience store companies. Man, we get people all the time telling us about stuff. I was like, really? And for some reason, people just tell my wife and I shit out of the blue. We're in Pensacola having dinner, minding our own business over at Grass, whatever they call themselves, Grass something steakhouse. And I guess got a piece of prime rib. She got a little filet. We had a nice time watching the beach, beautiful place to hang out. And this lady comes down and she goes, for some reason, I think I just need to tell you about my alien abduction. And we both just looked up at her like, you're kidding us, right? And part of me wanted to be mad. And part of me was like, no, for some reason, something said, go talk to these 2 people.
You were picked for this, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then I just decided after that, I said, well, you know what, we got heavily involved with that. And I started giving people stuff, but, we still haven't even written about the 11 days we lost in Gulf Breeze. I was in Los Angeles last year and the year before, and we were talking about this. And one of the people asked me, said 11 days. And she said, did they have witnesses? Yeah, there was all kind of witnesses. It was just such a weird thing. I said, we pulled up at the hotel, went and had dinner. My wife, my son, and her were on the beach playing around, catching crabs, doing stupid shit that you do when you're on vacation. And she was walking around in the water, which is a little weird for her anyway. And we seen these guys on this pier. They had this big pier. I think there was only 2 guys on it. It was kind of weird. And they were way out in the pier and we were watching. They were being dumbasses. And all of a sudden you seen this, it looked like a green glow stick in the water. Like somebody throwing one out there. And you could see they stopped and they were watching it. And we were watching it. And it was bobbing pretty good. It got about, I'd say, 30 feet from the pier. These 2 guys turned around and hauled ass. I mean, they hauled ass. And then we were standing there looking. I remember seeing a bright light. And 11 days. So the people came into our room every day and checked our room every day. The car never moved the entire time. They had film of us going into our hotel room, going out on the beach to go play, and never being seen again until we came back out. What I did was when I looked at my watch, I was like, oh, shit. I forgot I need to go pay these people for another day or 2. We're going to stay another day or 2. And when I got him, she started talking to me. I'm like, no, And then I said, okay. So I sat down, went through my cash, hadn't spent $1, not even $1. Went and looked at the car. No mileage had been changed. Nothing had been moved. The car's just been sitting there. The food that we brought with us that we put in the refrigerator, nothing had been eaten. No charges on the credit cards. And we were at a loss. We were just sitting there like, what the? And it took us 2 years before we were even willing to talk to each other about it. We were just, because we knew something had to happen. I mean, 11 days, because we went to go, what we did was we went to go drive down. We were going to stay at a hotel every other night we were going to stay at a different hotel and drive down the coast. And then I don't know. And the night before that, we were out on the fishing pier with the mayor of Gulf Breeze and the police chief and fire chief and a couple other people. And Unsolved Mysteries was there and a couple other things were there. And, they were UFO hunting, and they got lucky. I don't know. I never saw it on Unsolved Mysteries. I heard them talk about it a few times, but I know there was lots of people taking video and lots of people taking footage, and I've never seen any of it anywhere. All I remember is we were standing out there, and I seen this green thing headed for the bridge. I was like, "What the hell?" And it was cruising, and then it kind of slowed down a little bit and went under the trestle. I mean, it went under the fishing bridge, went under the main bridge, and it went under the train bridge, and stopped. And then it came out the water. It was fairly big. I'd say, to put it in regular terms, 4 semis across in each direction. Definitely kind of, it was saucer shape, but kind of more dome saucer shape. And it just sat there for a minute, and it was like hunks of gold and shit were just dripping off the sides of it, just plopping in the water and stuff. I have no idea what it is. And it just sat there, and everybody's just, eyes fixed. And then it was gone. Like, it kind of went up a little bit, like, and then it acted, stopped for a second, and then it was gone. Like a door opened and it disappeared. Oh man, there was a lot of it. There's over 400 people on that bridge that night. It was crazy. And then the next night was when we went down to Navarre Beach and lost all the time. We weren't actually in Opal Beach is where we were. The hotel doesn't exist anymore, John. It was wiped out by one of the hurricanes. Yeah, all the older hotels were wiped out. Well, we wanted to be, so when you go stay at the high end hotels, it's nice, but you can't really get a hotel that's on the beach. These hotels, the sand is actually kicking in the door with you. Yeah, it's more fun. Mm-hmm. I recommend it. Go to Navarre. It's a hot spot, and they like to take people, especially people named Jay. Man, whew, I don't know what that is, but they like to take them. No, Pete.
Nothing wrong with a good beach vacation. Absolutely not. I don't really care for the ocean because there's things in it that can swallow me whole. But,
that's why my wife doesn't like it.
Right? Yeah. But other than that, the beach is fine. I like the boardwalks are fun. Boardwalks have games and rides and roller coasters sometimes. So
she's always like, there's stuff out here that can eat you, right?
Right.
And I'm like, well, lately there've been a lot more sharks around.
That is the main reason. When I was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, maybe 6, we were living in Florida in Fort Lauderdale. We were playing in the ocean, and my brother my dad was throwing me and my brother in and out of the ocean. I remember the last time he threw me into the ocean, I splashed down. It wasn't too deep, maybe 3-4 foot deep at the most. I get down, I'm open my eyes, the bubbles go away, and there's a shark whose face just opened up, and he was about to swallow my head. Next thing I know, somebody's grabbed me by the waistband on my bathing suit. I come out of the water. My dad's got my brother under one arm, me under the other, and I swear to God, he did a Jesus move. He ran on top of the water. He wasn't in the water. He was running on the water, taking me and my brother out of the ocean. And from that day, that was probably been 50 years ago at least. I do not enjoy swimming. Pool, no problem. Hot tub, no problem. Sauna, you got it.
You get used to them down here. I mean, it's kind of, I didn't even see I am going to run there. You get used to them down here. It's just like we tell people, especially newbies who come down here from up north and all go fishing. It's a great place to go surf fishing. We tell people all the time, don't put the fish on a line on you. Don't hook it to you. And they're like, why? And because shark will come along, grab the whole stringer and just drag your ass along with it. And you'll be going along for the ride until such a time that either something breaks on you or the strap breaks on the fish or something goes, and then you can get loose. I know it happens all the time. People are dumb. And people don't realize it because, hook fish bleed sometimes when you're hooking them up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then the shark smells and it just comes zinging along. He's not after you. He's after the fish on your stringer. That's all he's after.
Food, yeah.
We've had to fight snakes off of fish. It gets crazy sometimes in a swamp. You'll be sitting there and all of a sudden you'll see the stringer go straight out with your fish. You're like, what the hell? You pull it up, there'll be a big old snake on the other end of it or a couple of crabs trying to swim off with them. It's the wild world, people.
And that's one of the methods we use to catch Maryland blue crab is you take a piece of twine and every couple of inches you tie off a chicken neck, you dip it into the water, and as your boat slowly, trolls through the water, you slowly pull that up, and your brother hopefully is fast enough with the net. When he sees it, he can scoop the crab off the chicken neck before it realizes he's at the surface, and boom. We did that for fun while we were waiting for our traps to fill up.
Yeah, we used actually that's another thing. We used to go out not too far. This is on the edge of the city too. We'd go out there and go perch and goggle eye fishing and stuff. While we were out there, we put up a stringer. You drop a chicken neck on each one, drop them about 2-3 foot apart, and then we just walk out, do the same thing you said. We walk out a little bit, pull them up, bring the net up underneath them, and grab them. Every now and then, you'd see the stringer pulling straight out. You think, boy, that's a big ass crab. No, it's an alligator. There's an alligator who wants your chicken leg, and you just cut it loose and let him go. He goes on, leaves you alone. He wanted that chicken leg. He got hold of that chicken leg. That was his chicken leg after that. I know, people. They ain't always small alligators. Most of the time when you're out there, the ones that'll usually won't even come around you. It'll be 4 or 5 foot, 6 foot long. Yeah, because they're gonna feel like they have a chance. Gators, I mean. People don't really, so you notice people in the water, they fast as hell, but on land, they can run 25 miles an hour. So don't think you can get on land and outrun the gator because he's going to run you down. Yeah,
they're not highly maneuverable, but they are fast.
They are fast. And don't let them hit you with that tail because you ain't getting up.
Yeah, there's plenty of stories. They can break an ankle. They can break your leg with that tail.
What do you mean? You mean am I scared? I don't know. But I grew up with it. It's part of our raising. Half the time when you're going fishing, look, there's a lot of places you go sit and go fish, and alligators will be watching you, reeling your stuff, hoping they can steal your fish from you. But yeah, they some heathen little bastards sometimes. I'll get a stick, like a pole, whack them in the head and shit. Oh, they get all upset with you. I got to watch them down here because I got chihuahuas, They'll eat my damn chihuahuas. Yeah. But they're not so much here. They stay upriver from me because I live at like about 300 yards from the Gulf, so it's pretty salty here. And they'll get pushed down during storms, but they'll usually go back up. And because I live on a bayou with a bunch of rich people, they have people come out every so often and look for gators. And if at one seen over 4 foot, they'll come take it. They'll come find it and take it. They'll come look all night to find it more than that. Well, people have kids out here, and they go jump in the water. The dogs go jump in the water. Nobody wants to see their dog get eaten.
Or their kid.
Or their kid, for that matter. Well,
I guess it depends on the kid.
I wouldn't say that gators. So gators are not as aggressive as crocodiles, that's for sure. But
yeah, crocodiles are way more aggressive.
A couple of stories. Some friends of mine moved down from New Jersey. Actually, they were from New York, from Staten Island, but they moved down. I'm sorry, from the Bronx, and they moved to Jersey, and then they moved down here. And he got a good job down here. He was managing. He was an engineer at one of the hotels, and he was doing good, and a friend and I were working for him at the time. And I was getting ready to move, so I was staying. He asked me if I'd come. He said, "Why don't you come stay at the house for a couple of weeks while you move?" And I said, "That's cool. I'll come hang out." So he said, "Well," he said, "I know you local. Take me around, show me the fishing spots." And then so took him out in the pirogue. The pirogue is about 14 foot long. It's just a flat bottom boat. Looks like a canoe, but it's flat on the bottom. So I got his 2 kids, and we went out. We paddled all the way out to the lake, which was a few miles, and it was coming back about dusk. And man, it felt like we hit a stump, but we were in the middle of the canal. So I know we didn't hit a stump because there was no way. So we hit something. And it lifted the boat up in the middle. I was like, shit, what the hell? And I kept thinking, oh, it's a big alligator. So we're going along. And man, this thing pops up on the side of the boat. He's as long as the boat, if not longer. And you could see he kind of turned his eye to the side, so his eye was looking at the kids. So the first thing I did was reach out, push both kids down below the thing of the boat, and take the paddle and just whack the crap out of him. And when I did, he broke the side of the boat out. He cracked it. He split it. We had the kids bailing water all the way back to the boat launch. And when we got back to the boat launch, they had a 10-footer in a truck they had just caught. There's some big gators down here.
10-footers are huge. They can eat a human, no problem.
Oh yeah, and he had seen, and not the first time. It's happened in Florida a few times in Everglades. It's happened a couple times down there.
Yeah, there's lots of stories in Florida of dogs, cats, babies getting captured by it.
Now the gators have got to fight with the freaking boca. I mean, not the boca strictus, or which ones are down there? The pythons. They're all over the place.
Pythons are down there, yeah.
Yeah, they're all over. No, they're not native to Florida. Somebody let one loose, and now they're shitting all over the place. No, they're everywhere.
Same with the piranha. Piranha is a problem in Georgia in some of the streams up there because people got them as pets and then couldn't afford to keep feeding them because they only eat live food. And it's flushing down the toilet, and boom, you got a piranha population. So it's now illegal to have a piranha pet fish in Georgia.
Yeah, well, because they got to go poison the populations, and then they got to be careful that they don't poison something else. What do you mean, people? I don't know how many of the stories of piranha eating people are true. They could eat people, but usually the person gets away, or well, if you're injured and bleeding to death, no, they're going to eat you for sure. But no, I've seen humans get bitten by them before. Oh yeah, I've seen. They'll take little chunks of meat out the size of a dime, size of a penny
Quarter.
or something. And some of them, if they're bigger ones, they'll take them out a quarter. And they take their
They
teeth
get
are
pretty
very
big. They can
sharp.
get 6-8 inches long, about 4 or 5, 6
Yeah,
inches.
and there's usually 100 of them, 200, sometimes 300 of them just eating away.
They have some name for them down in South America that I don't know the Spanish or Portuguese word, but it translates to cow castrator. They've walked their cows through the water and they come up and all the bulls have been mutilated by the population.
Well, that's one cheap way of doing castrations.
Yeah.
Okay, Jack, I see you sent me a bunch of news. Let me see. Jay and I'll go through some of these stories right quick for you. Oh, yeah, we got time. So, oh, wait, this one looks pretty good. What the hell is this? Devastating missile attack wipes out hundreds of Russian soldiers gathered on the beach. Good Ukrainian bastards out there trying to chill on the beach, have some fun. You went and killed them, huh? Damn.
So the Ukrainians that were killed or Russians?
It was Russians that were killed. Ukrainians killed them. That's what I said. The Ukrainians went and killed the Russians while they were partying out on the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they're going to show it. Wait a minute. Let's see if they show it. I'll have to put it on a tape. No, that doesn't look like hundreds to me. That just looks like a few. 3rd Infantry Unit. Dude, y'all are in deep shit. You ever heard of this thing called Run?
Yeah.
This looks like one of these stupid horror movies. Oh my gosh, darn jigglers. All right, then I can show them getting killed, I guess. Oh, yeah, they are. Damn. All right, guys, let me see if I can put this on where we can see this. Let's go back here. Well, I don't know, because it depends what it's on. Sometimes it'll let you do stuff, sometimes it won't. Dolly Parton. I don't want to see Dolly Parton. No offense, Dolly, but baby, I really don't want to see you. You're kind of scary, chick. Scary mama, yeah. Oh, wait, damn it. Hold on, people. Let me find this thing again. Jackson. Oh, hey, Roseanne. Yeah, alligators, alligators and sharks. You'll see alligators and sharks, especially like crocodiles down in the, Australian outback. Yeah, they'll get into it.
Yeah, shark will let you know he's there first. He'll circle around you first. Alligator will just flat out get you from underwater, drag you under and drown you.
Well, that's what's so weird. I mean, they'll just come out and snatch you. All right, let's put this up right quick. All right, guys, hold on 1 second, and we will put this up. No, that's not what we wanted to do. Oh, damn it. Get on a thing where I can see. Sorry, I'm trying to find the damn video, people. Sorry. Ah, there it is. All right. And hit play. Is it on, Jay?
I see it, yeah.
All right. All right, what we got here, people?
Like drone footage.
I'm guessing that's what it is. There's a few more people out there than I thought.
Yeah.
This is the world we live in today, people. We're gonna watch them. We're gonna watch 100 here.
Something like that.
Yeah, we're gonna see 100 or more people get killed here. And then I thought they were gonna show us when I seen this.
Yeah, that's pretty high up. There's no detail on that one.
Oh, so there's a couple of different ones that are attacking at one time. Oh, I didn't understand that. Look at this shit.
Ooh.
So they hit more than one spot at one time.
I think there were several spots on the beach where they were mooring up. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were. Well, that's what I said, people. It's the world we live in today. I know everything's at your fingertips. All I did was go on one of the news sites, and there it was.
Yeah, the whole war on TV thing really kind of started with Vietnam. I mean, there was how many years? 63 to 75. There were almost 12 years, 13 years of just live news footage of people getting shot.
Yeah, and then we did Desert Storm, brought it home to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Desert Storm, yeah, CNN hanging out the windows, putting beds up to block the
Oh God,
stuff coming in, running out in the streets.
First evening at it was like I don't know, midnight, 2:00 in the morning when we got the CNN video. My friends and I were in college. We were up playing poker, and we started watching this. It looked like Star Wars. I mean, all those tracer bullets going in the air from the Iraqi ground forces. It was amazing.
And they weren't hitting shit. That's what was amazing.
No, they were too high up. They didn't know where they were. A and B. They were shooting from too far up.
It was definitely. Well, it's what made CNN, ladies and gentlemen, and it's what showed us how war really was, and because apparently we forgot after Vietnam, so we had to go get another one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I mean, Desert Storm really made CNN. I didn't know who they were.
Oh yeah.
And they made, because CNN did a good job. They did a better job than all the other networks in carrying. They did. They went in places they shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Lucky they didn't get their asses killed a few times. They were working hard, and they were getting the job done.
The stuff that happened in the first Gulf War was so real. When the next batch of that happened in that same or general region, you'll notice Wolf Blitzer wasn't there. He didn't go. When that first batch, he was so scared out of his mind. All of them. There was like 3 of them, all staying in the hotel, like hunkered under the tables, like
Oh yeah,
scared as hell about all the noise going on outside the hotel room.
yeah, because it was time there was blast near them and shit hit the windows.
Mm-hmm.
They had to move them out of the rooms a couple times because the glass got blown out, but they didn't want to be moved to the other side of the hotel because the action was on this side of the hotel.
Yeah.
What's that, Johnny Glee? Like Johnny Gleason? No? Okay. Yeah, I seen the one about the borders, a honeymoon is short, but we already knew that was not going to be a thing. Because Biden don't want to do anything about the border. He doesn't care. When you're going to learn, he just doesn't care. It's not a matter of voting or anything. He just doesn't care. Let's see. Potentially hazard 600-foot asteroid detected near Earth after a year of hiding in plain sight. Ooh. Wait, how big? Oh, man. That'll just wipe out a little piece of Russia. Here we go again. SpaceX Falcon 9 liftoff seen via Falcon Heavy launch pad. You know, Elon is like the rocket god. He makes Vernon von Braun and what's-his-face sound like they were morons. I mean, this dude is just... How he does what he does is beyond me. I mean...
He's the guy from the James Bond movie, but without the despotism.
I'm telling you, he worries me, man, because, you know, I always wonder what kind of evilness may be lying on him. And, you know, you're watching this one rocket take off, and while you are, you notice there's other rockets on other launch pads.
Ready to go.
He's not playing. He wants to be the guy. And so the other day I watched his video on how he's going to take us to Mars. It's pretty sophisticated, but pretty simple. He knows what dates are the best dates to be launched. And he said, and after a while, it won't matter because the engines will be getting better and better as they go along. And but so what he does is he launches a ship here. At the same time, he launches another one from here. And it just goes up and it meets it. And it goes about half the trip. And then it comes back to Earth and the other one keeps going to Mars. The other one lands on Mars. They can make their fuel there and everything. They don't need a booster rocket to take off on Mars because of the low gravity. Boom, they're on their way back. But the way he really wants to be doing is every time we launch one, going there, we're launching one from Mars coming back until the colony is built. He said eventually he'd like to be launching 4 or 5 at a time.
Yeah, wow.
Well, he's going to have help with funding on this. But
well, I mean, that's probably a brilliant way to get there. It's because it's how long does it take to get there? 2 years, 18 months, something like that.
Oh no, their new estimates are like 3 to 5 months.
For Mars, yeah, Jupiter would be 2 years.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, no, at one time it was 2 years. It went from 2 years, like you said, to 18 months, and it
Okay.
kept coming down. It kept coming down, and then about a few years back, they said 9 months, and that was it.
Wow.
That was now as best we could do. And then Elon and his gang and Jeff Bezos came out and said, no, we think with this type of engine and this type of system, we can get there in 3 months.
Wow. Well, but still, the what his method sounds like, the daisy chain, or when you have the bucket brigade put out a fire back in the old days.
Yeah.
You just have stuff going back and forth, so that if you have somebody coming back from Mars and there's a guy going up there from Earth, and one of them has a problem, there's support there. Someone can stop and oh, we'll fix your flat tire. You can keep on going to Mars, or we can take you back to Earth with us.
And eventually he wants to have several of them out there doing it. I mean, he's brilliant, guys. I don't know what to tell you. What do you mean? Tesla? No, Tesla's just something he likes to do to aggravate people.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. That's what he does with Tesla. He just aggravates.
Well, and buying social media and developing and divulging their secrets.
Yes, that was so nice of him for all of us. That might not have been the best use of $40 billion, but it was so nice of him to do it. And I told everybody what happened. Well, he'll never be the richest man again. I said, he'll be the richest man in less than 6 months. No, he won't. I said, yeah, just.
And he still is, isn't he? He's at the top. He's
he went back. Yeah, he got back up to number one again. What's this you sent me, Steve? Electrified cement could turn the new foundation of buildings into giant batteries. Well, that sounds cool until the charge releases in the concrete and kills everybody. Maybe we should think about that a little bit more. What's this flying boat? You're talking about the Catalina aircraft, yes. So I actually haven't been on a Catalina, but I've been on the modern version of, well, not the modern version. This was back in the 90s. With the engine on top and the way when you open the door, you can actually put your hands in the water. That was great. Yeah, I wanted to get my flying license after that. That was great. Yes. No, I never did, but I wanted to. Russia blows up Black Sea port after confirming peace talks with Turkey. Okay, Russia's just stupid.
How is Russia having peace talks with Turkey? Are they at war with Turkey also?
I don't know. I guess they're trying to make it settle down with Turkey so they don't have to be watching Turkey when they get into everything else. But Turkey's NATO. They're bound by the same agreement all of it is. Oh, and NATO sent him a warning because he's blowing up shit somewhere that might have been what we're talking about here, but they sent him a warning because they were blowing up stuff within, I think, a mile or a half mile of NATO territory. He was kind of like, well, let's see. Vladimir Putin will make diplomatic trip to Turkey in the coming weeks to his first visit to a NATO-affiliated country since the start of the war in the Ukraine. Turkey's President Egon Moron, did I say that out loud? Apologize. Confirmed the visit and told Putin that no steps should be taken that will escalate tensions in Russia and the Ukraine war, emphasizing the significance of the Black Sea grain. Oh, that's why I forgot they get their grain from there. So he's trying to get Russia to behave itself. Okay, well, that's cool. Egon is as crooked can get, people. Or Aegon, whatever the hell his name is. No, he's as crooked as people get. Oh, all right. I'll mention this, Deline, but without a doubt, he fell asleep. Biden went to the Oppenheimer movie and fell asleep.
Yeah, you know why? Because he probably was there.
He probably was.
Yeah.
UFOs are the story of the century. Wake up, America. Damn it, wake up, America. That's from The Hill.
Yeah.
What gets me about all this is why aren't you talking to the people who know? You're going to talk to pilots? That's great, but pilots can't really tell you anything.
Yeah,
somebody sent me a story today about a gentleman who says he was Special Forces, and while they were out in the middle of wherever they were, another group of more Special Forces, better than them, apparently came up, helped load some stuff on or off of a UFO, and left in big F-350 armored vehicles with these things maybe carrying bodies or maybe not. A lot of maybes. This state-of-the-art floating turbine could revolutionize wind power. People, look, stop effing wasting money on wind power and on solar power and just fix the freaking cold fusion. Just cold fusion and hydrogen is all this world needs. We don't need, y'all have no idea how much crap we got to do to make solar panels, how bad it is for the environment. And in 10 years or 20 years, it's going to come out.
They require batteries that can store the energy longer than 24 hours. And it isn't a viable situation yet, maybe never. Same with wind.
Yes, I mean, we're just not there yet. No, we're just not. And frankly, I don't want to drive across the country and see a bunch of wind turbines all over. It's freaking ugly.
There's probably a lot of people out there that don't remember. Also, there was a time where they were talking about tidal power. We're going to use the tidal waves and wave energy to power the United States. And the same thing. You have this mechanical device under the oceans, undulating by the current, generating energy, moving parts that require maintenance in a saltwater environment that loves to eat steel. Not a viable situation.
No.
You don't even hear about it anymore.
Because it was dumb, just like the rest of us.
It's dumb.
This is part of this woke movement bullshit. Solar panel and wind power. Because look, first up, all right, we'll just go through this real fast. So let's talk about solar panels. First off, you have to have silicone. You actually have several different chemicals, which two of them require strip mining, by the way, to create a solar panel. Then you have to put a solar panel on your house. Well, first off, they're ugly.
And in some cases, many. Not just one.
Yeah. And when you go drive by your friend's house and you see, the whole front of your house has solar panels, that is not enough to run your house. And you are not energy sufficient when you get solar panels. All you're doing is selling your electricity back to the electric company and they're taking it off your bill. Yep. That's it. There's nothing else that's going on. You're not generating your own electricity or any of that because those systems are very, very, very expensive. Where I live,
in most cases, with a solar panel on your roof, you're only probably selling back about $100 worth of electricity. So if your bill's $300 every month, you save $100.
Yeah.
How much does it cost to put that panel up?
It does.
$15,000.
So, yes, you can get government subsidies and stuff like that. But then, see, where I live, you can't even put them on my house because the neighborhood doesn't allow them because they're eyesores, and they don't really produce any legitimate power. But where I live, technically, I could put up a windmill, I could put up a water wheel, and I could put in solar. My house would be self-sufficient off the three, but I would have to set up a generator system and a battery storage system. And lithium batteries are not cheap.
Yeah, and again,
they're very dangerous.
For solar, it doesn't last more than 24 hours. If you don't use it, it rapidly decays after 24 hours. You can't generate enough solar power to keep that battery always lit up.
No. Most houses could never even get close to being self-sufficient now. Not off of solar power.
Not without cold fusion.
Well, no, there is a viable solar source, but they won't use it. So the original idea is before we decided we're going to put all this shit on top of everybody's house and just make your house horrible looking was they were going to start building 2-mile across solar mirrors in space and beam the power down to different power plants around the country and charge them that way. Yes, through a microwave. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's close to what Tesla wanted to do. He wanted to beam it to your house directly. But the government said no because it couldn't be metered.
Yeah. They can't put a meter on it. They can't sell it to you. It has no value to the government.
So this way, at first, your electricity will be expensive like it is now. But the longer it's up there, the more panels they put up, the cheaper your power will be. To one day, it's just mere pennies. But we don't need that either because I don't want to look up in space and see, ooh, look at that big, shiny-ass, ugly mirror up there. I don't want to see that either. Well, you could put them on one side of the moon, cover the whole moon, and beam power back. But no, we now know cold fusion works. It's not a fucking theory anymore. It's a reality. Now, how long is it going to take us to master it and get it to the sizes we want to have it and really get it in our society? Probably another 100 years. But it's on its way. Hydrogen is already here, but for some reason, the biggest thing I heard, like the California people, well, I don't want a big hydrogen bomb in my neighborhood. Well, that's not what it is. But it's the same bullshit they said back in the early 20s when they started building gas stations on every corner. Oh, I don't want a big gas bomb on every corner. No, gas stations just don't blow up, do they? And neither will hydrogen plants. Besides, the way they're stored, they couldn't use them as a bomb. That was the biggest, No, okay. Stored hydrogen is not a hydrogen bomb. You have to have a catalyst. You have to have several things to make it a bomb. And yeah, it just doesn't work that way. So we got them. We could already be completely energy efficient.
Yeah, I mean the hydrogen cell battery for cars came out in the 80s, and then several the OPEC nations, the United States of America, Japan, Toyota specifically, and maybe a couple other corporations paid this gentleman who came up with the hydrogen cell energy, which you powered with distilled water. You could go to the grocery store or the pharmacy, you buy a gallon of distilled water, it would give you 500 or 600 miles of distance. They paid him for this engine $1 billion in the 80s to quash it. And here we are 35, 40, 50 years later, or 45 years later. And now we have hydrogen cell batteries. We have hybrid cars. We have cars that are half battery, half gas. And who came out with the first battery car? Toyota. Because they bought the technology from this guy 35, 45 years ago.
You got to love them. Oh, I did see the story of the two guys that crossed the Atlantic on the ship rudder. That had to be an interesting experience. Well, as long as it wasn't a bunch of big waves, I guess they were okay. I'm pretty sure they made it. What's this one you sent? Joe Biden criticized after claiming he fired employees for not talking. What? Not talking time off. He hasn't worked 9 to 5. Whatever. Here it is. Putin launches. Let me see what this is. Putin launches attack on NATO's doorstep and sends troops in for a huge military operation. I think Putin, since he knows he's going to die, he just wants to take a bunch of people with him.
Yeah, if I'm going, somebody's coming with me.
Well, so here's one for y'all. So they're showing Kiev the other night. So they got clubs open. They're out dancing and shit. No, I'm serious. You can look for yourself. Just type up partying in Kiev during the war. Oh yeah, it's all over the place. I'm thinking people, y'all should not put that on the internet. People are not going to want to help y'all. No, they're not. You just don't do that. Mm-hmm. And Mark, I did see the new F-35s landing on streets and stuff. But you know where they got that from, my friend? I think the Swedish military does it. They don't really have Air Force bases, so they have these places where they can put 1 or 2 jets with a little refueling port, and they park them off on the side road. If they need them, they just put them on the highway and take them off. Yeah, they have some kind of thing. I think it closes gates to stop everybody.
Yeah, they must have some systems to get the traffic off the roads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I seen that one too. How France killed the F-22 Raptor and stealth fighter in a combat simulation. It's a simulation.
Yeah,
let's see it in real life. I want to see anything fighting like the F-22 in real life. I just want to see it because they're badass. TikTok videos. UFOs are allegedly being intercepted by jets in the Nevada desert.
No.
See, people don't believe that bullshit.
No UFO can be intercepted by one of our jets, even the F-22 Raptors.
Yeah, nothing we have even gets closer. The SR-71 can't even catch it with these things.
SR-71 is the fastest plane we have. It breaks its own record almost every time it flies. Like whenever it goes to San Francisco to New York, it breaks the record every time it goes there. It gets faster and faster and faster.
Let's see. Go back. Whoops, where'd it go? What the hell did I do with it? All right, pause thing. Stay there for a second. Let's pause. All right, let's see. I'm going to show y'all these UFOs, man. Hold on. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Let's see. Let's add them to stream. Ooh, look at these bad UFOs, man.
Oh, gosh. What do those look like?
All right, let's hit the button. Where's the button? There's it. Here you go. I don't see no UFOs intercepting them. I mean, jets intercepting them, sorry. Oh, wait, I hear one. Oh, here we go. Though we got some strange music in it, too, for some reason. Oh, here comes another one. Looks like F-35As.
It looks like they're moving really slow.
They are moving really slow.
If those are jets, they're moving very slow.
But where'd the other UFO go? They lost it. Oh, wait, they're getting closer now. Oh, wait. Yeah, well, they don't want us to see what really happened, you cowards. You cowards. Don't be cowards. We've seen y'all. Now, this is a UFO. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Holy cow, look at him, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had any of
That
those
was
in
real.
our Air Force.
There it is. We don't need disclosure anymore.
What was that, Jenny?
That one's real. We don't need disclosure anymore. That's it. Post it on the internet. We're done. UFOs are real.
Y'all don't know what that is, guys, really.
It's X-Wings from Star Wars.
That's what that is. Oh, so y'all think whatever. You think whatever you want. I'm not going to criticize.
Hey, if it's on the internet, Joe, it's real, right?
It's obviously it's real. It's real.
There was an image from Close Encounters. That was Richard Dreyfuss's truck.
It's yeah, no, that's oh, here we go. We got to answer this. Where do the majority of groceries? Well, we ain't too bad. Too much trouble. All right, let's see what we got down here. NASA invites you to explore space from home with new free streaming service.
Oh, full Hungary.
Dun, 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 dun. Look how pretty that is. Now we don't care.
Yeah.
Jay said we don't care. I'm with him. Uh-oh, what we got here over here? Why climate movement doesn't talk about polar bears anymore? All right, did I actually read that? I'm sorry, guys.
Because polar bears started it? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, see, right here. Researchers make discovery that could reduce explosions of lithium metal batteries.
Yeah.
The fucking dangerous things. You still don't know what's inside the moon.
But they have a new theory. What's inside the moon? A bell?
I don't know what to tell you, weird people. Tubed ground meat. I'm going to have to ask Sean about that one of these days. Should you buy tubed ground meat? This story's always in here about
my Jimmy Dean sausage comes in a tube.
Well, that's fine. I like Jimmy Dean sausage in a tube, actually.
It's kind of yummy, yeah.
Got some pretty big tubes of ground meat there, then. Check your now. Wait, what? Apple issues 30-day warning to iPhone users. Check yours now. Well, I haven't seen anything on mine.
Yeah, that's one of those clickbait things.
Mark Zuckerberg's very, very large McDonald's. We don't care, people. I should look before I read. B-1 Raider unveiling. So, is this a message to China? Okay, this really doesn't look that much different than some of the other jets we have.
It looks almost exactly like the B-1.
It kind of does.
It's black.
It's I mean, it's probably a beast. I don't want to hate on it. It's
the engines are in a different location. In the B-1, they're underneath, and I think there's two on each side, but those are right up against the cockpit. If those are engine bells or engine holes, intakes.
Yeah, we'll see, people. I'm still waiting to see what our 6th gen fighter is going to look like. I've seen all kind of prototypes, but whistling past the graveyard, dim sphere growth over massive grassroots. Oh, who gives a shit?
You got to stop using that grassroots campaign crap. Not everything is grassroots.
It's hard to be grassroots in this country anymore, anyway, with the internet.
Yeah.
White dwarf star explodes. Well, I want to see that.
No kidding. Did they get it on footage?
Let's see.
Or they just show the nebula?
Well, I didn't want to see that. Thank you very much.
No.
What the hell? How do you get out of this? Oh, man. Boo. Boo. That was sneaky, people. Boo. Thank God we got the sound off. Could be horrible. If y'all got varicose, well, if you got varicose veins, there you go, people. I'm sorry to do that to you. I apologize. Apparently, there's no audio with this.
Apparently, there's no video. It's not doing anything.
Oh, there it goes. It's moving. It's a white dwarf star that exploded.
But they just have the nebula. They don't have the actual explosion on camera. That would be some pretty neat scientific data if this new space telescope we have, which Leslie has discovered 2 sub-moons around Earth, that they catch it. Yeah, that's a simulation. That would be cool, though, to see an actual white dwarf star explode.
It would be interesting to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What's that, Jimmy? I don't know. Spinning UFO spotted by U.S. officer has fiery thrusters.
Alien shape.
Oh, let's go look.
If nothing else, it's clickbait, right?
Oh, look at this bed setup.
Look at this little console.
This is your couch and your bed or whatever.
Your bed, couch, and you have a day bed. I
wonder if that comes up as a TV right there. Oh, here we go.
Absolutely, I bet you it does. There goes Dreyfus's electrical truck. I can't read the captions.
Hey, wait, what happened? The protagonist.
And it's more of that A-tip stuff just came out.
Non-human biologic.
So is this like a Ancient Alien segment?
This is part. I don't know what this is. I mean, part of that was a legit trial or hearings.
So they're basing their UFOs and aliens as the truth on ET and Close Encounters? Seems like a stretch.
Really?
I've been saying that for years, that it's mathematically impossible for us to be alone.
I know.
I actually came up with a new formula for that, and I think it's better than the Drake equation.
Well, you would think the Drake equation would be enough. You know what? I never did see the spinning UFO in here, though. Where was it?
Where's the spinning UFO and the dude?
Oh, wait, here we go.
Oh, continue reading. Yeah.
Okay, I don't.
Wow, that UFO looks quite like a dove or a seagull.
It does look like a bird.
Seagulls are black and white and gray.
with some serious light reflection in the front.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, people, I'd have to say that was a bird. I'm sorry. Boo!
Yeah.
We're gonna have to start doing the boo show. Can you make the boo show? Yes.
So it's like the rods. When the rods came out, people were like, "Oh, look at these weird, strange creatures." They're not. It's just the way the nature of taking video makes regular fast-moving bugs look like they're really, really long and have 6 wings. They're not real.
Damn, they sunk another Russian ship?
Yay.
So Russia just put 30 new ships out. Obviously, we keep sinking them as fast as they keep. No, there it is, right there.
Bloop.
They towing it in, it's all half sunk.
Yeah, it's what they call it, listing to the starboard. Or no, port. Sorry, port.
What do you mean, people? No, they actually stopped some of Russia's heavy armor the other day, too. They've been putting it on Russia, but sooner or later, Russia's going to get tired. I mean, somewhere Russia's got a big military somewhere. I mean, they are the ex-Soviet Union, so they've got to have military somewhere.
They've got to have some sort of military assets, but they haven't shown up in Ukraine yet.
I seen them launch some big bombers the other day, 4 big strategic bombers, but I don't know where they went.
Yeah, they're not going to start a bombing campaign, especially if there's something there they want. They're not going to go start destroying things. They want something there. There's something physical they want in that country, and they're not saying what it is.
Nuclear mushroom cloud in southern Russia freaks out locals.
I would call bunk on that one.
That don't look like a
That's
mushroom.
not a mushroom. That's a regular old, what do they call that? Cirrus cloud?
It says a name, but it's one of them weird shaped ones. But no,
that is not a mushroom cloud, people. That's what you call a temperature inversion, causing those clouds to separate in that fashion.
Yeah, they're saying it's a phenomenon too. No, it's not, people. Tropical latitudes. Wow.
Yeah, if you've ever been down Florida, man, those people have some kind of latitude,
I know. It's something about they lean sideways, and it makes everything lean sideways with them.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding you, people. Anybody starts writing to me,
they're also 10 feet underwater, so it's a miracle how there's even land in the state of Florida, being 10 foot under the sea level.
Damn, they lost 600 soldiers.
Wow. In just a few hours. Lost 6. Wow.
Yeah, that's rough, man. He's got to do something there.
Well, there's a good one. Scientists use DNA to construct material lighter and stronger than steel. How many whistleblowers have said that when they've touched the UFO craft, that it felt somewhere between biological and mechanical?
Because it's how it kind of feels, especially the Gray's craft seem to feel like that.
Yeah, it's like an animal skin.
Wait, what's going on here? Oh, he disqualified Whoopi? Is that what it says?
No, he disqualifies host as he discusses aliens on The View. Because she was an alien. That's probably a joke. Clickbait. I'm going to call clickbait on that one.
Whoopi, I used to like you, Whoopi. I ain't even going to talk about you anymore. Man, they had a bunch of crap. Camilla, please close that mouth. Flies are going to fly in there.
There's a kitten on that dude's head.
Yeah, I see it right there. That's Ukrainian armed forces breakthrough first line, huh? They're trying to get back in the Crimea. We'll see how that goes for them.
They're pushing. They're pushing that way.
Camilla, stay off of the stage, please. You always make us look like idiots. What did he say?
That's probably two jets. One on the tarmac. One trying to land. Oops! Somebody messed up on the tower.
Come on, thing, do something. It's one of the things I like doing about live radio with these. You can just go through them, but no, that's what it's
doing anything.
They ain't doing anything. So I guess this is what we're looking at right here.
There's a plane on the tarmac and a plane. Look, allegedly, I guess it's a plane trying to land on the same tarmac.
Man, I've been in a couple of close calls on jet speed. It's not fun. I actually quit smoking cigarettes for about 5 years when I was in the service, and we were sitting on the tarmac in Houston. In Dallas, and waiting to get clearance. And I don't know what happened, but this jet came in and it got so close, it looked like the tires touched our roof. I asked the guy on it, because you used to be able to smoke in the planes back then, man, if he had a cigarette, start smoking again. And they actually gave me a cigar and started smoking again, but they actually took us off the plane because they thought it did damage to the plane. And they put us on a different flight.
Yeah, jet wash could break off all kinds of stuff, antennas and sensors and whatnot.
Yeah. SpaceX spaceship. I love SpaceX. Go SpaceX. Well, I wish I could find that thing he showed the other day. I don't remember where I was, what page I was on when I was looking at it. This happened again. You see this story right here?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So Wells Fargo customers report missing deposits from their bank accounts. This has happened before with these guys.
Is it the aliens are taking their money from them?
You got to wonder what's going on there. Oh, they don't like this.
Scientists urgently warn. Oh, come on. That's clickbait.
Let's not blow anybody up.
Yeah.
Oh, not this again.
Yeah.
You're not getting. Well, I don't have a gas stove right now, but if I had one, you wouldn't be getting it. Yeah, it'd be like no. So you want to get rid of something? Get rid of gas. Get rid of jets. So the little bit of stuff that stoves give out is nothing compared to what That's one of the things. It always shows you how hypocritical liberals really are. They want to stop everything, but they don't want to give up their gas cars, and they don't want to give up their private jets, and they don't want to give up their flights on big jets. They don't want to give up none of that. They don't want to give up the big skyscrapers in New York, which draw in heat and help warm the planet. People, it's not just about carbon emissions that are warming up the planet. These gigantic ass damn cities we have all over the planet are warming it up significantly. They don't want to tell you that because they don't want to give up their big cities. Mm-hmm. But really and truly, the cities need to go green like Singapore's done. All their rooftops now have gardens on the top of them. More and more of these cities are either putting solar panels or reflective glass on their buildings to reflect the heat back up. I don't even see America even looking to do any of that stuff.
Yeah, because a large city like, say, New York puts out a good, makes the temperature, the air temperature, another good 10 to 20 degrees hotter. Just from activity of boilers and electricity and stuff humming through the lines.
Well, there's something else that's been bothering me. I know we have the ability to make carbon emission free vehicles, so yeah, I'm not sure why we haven't actually done that. But
because OPEC doesn't, like you just said, OPEC doesn't want to give up their power, their money. They make so much money off of that.
And the other thing that's bothering me is why can't we build a self-generating electric car? So you have four wheels spinning. Anything that spins can create power.
Four dynamos creating electricity that could power the car while it's moving.
You can put four alternators on it with a voltage regulator and a nice lithium large battery to store it all. And when your battery's full, it kicks off and just runs the car on it until such a time it needs the battery. It should be, all electric cars should be self-generating. They should, once they're moving, they should not need to pull on their battery.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand that. I'm missing something. I was talking to a friend of mine. This is back in the late 80s. I said, man, we should be able to do this. We should just make one and get rich. And because technically we did. We took we used to, those little cars you used to race on a track, the little electric ones you could fly.
The slot cars.
So we took them and we took it apart and we put glued two of them together and then put another one in and we glued four motors from four of the cars on it, and then put one in the middle, and then ran a gear underneath, and then gears on each one, so that we could spin them as they went. So the one would go. Now it worked a little hard to spin all four, but once it got going good, it was spinning the hell out. And everything was just nonstop. There was no battery in it, and the best part is you could just rub it back and forth, roll it back and forth a couple times, and let it go, and it would take off and keep going. So I know it's possible, people. No, I'm not doing it because somebody will kill me if I do it. No, they're not even going to buy me. They're just going to run me over the road.
So fast, and it would be the same thing they did with the hydrogen cell battery. It would take 30, 40 years to come back out.
They're not, because all this technology you're talking about will all be part of our world one day, just not now. You got to wait till these greedy bastards that are here now die off, and then it'll come into being. Well, because somebody's going to want to be the guy who says, okay, you know what? I invented cold fusion and I'm going to save the world. And he is, or she is, whoever it is going to save the world. And at that time, we'll need to save the world.
I mean, you think about it. You have something the size of a dollar coin or a tennis ball, maybe, that powers your house indefinitely. It's amazing.
Go back. Shut up, woman. Stop for a minute. All right, let's see what she's got to say. Yeah, she's smiling. She's not even taking it serious.
Yeah.
Pinhead. That was a lie. That was a lie. I don't understand why you got to be polygraphed, man. I want him polygraphed. Swearing with your hand in front of Congress don't mean shit to me. I want your ass polygraphed.
He'd probably pass. I'll be back in 1 minute.
All right, so let's get out of here, people, wherever we were earlier. What's this? Mars helicopter breaks 3 months of flight gap with 53 red planet hop. Oh, 53rd red planet hop. Yeah, it's getting all over the place. It keeps seeing the rover all the time. I'm not sure what that's about. Top Republican tells chilling story of UFO. Why hasn't this woman retired? She's just such a nasty person. It's let's see, we can watch it. It's like I said, it's one of the nice things about doing live. Oh, not this again. Sorry, guys. Did we already watch this? I hope not, because this is just gross. Well, I ain't turning the volume on this. I definitely don't want to hear whatever she's talking about, or he's talking. No, she's talking about. Yeah, I could tell by the hand what it was. What does the volume say? I guess we don't get to hear it. Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, I love how it lifts it up there like that. Just sets it on there. Yeah, see, there's another one. I noticed on all of his places where he has ships, there's more than one sitting around.
Got to have backups.
Oh, this is fuel, baby. That's pressure off his fuels. That's what that is. Hey, look at it. Just set it on there like it ain't nothing. I love how he catches it when it lands. I don't know. Well, I don't know if they've tried to land it on like this part. They do it like this. Yeah. Well, imagine these little things right here are some types of clamps.
That's so cool.
No, the man's brilliant. Don't ask me. He's. So they brought one down the other day when it landed. That thing caught it. Oh wait, let's see. This is the shit we were talking about earlier. Please don't show me somebody's ugly leg again. Instead, somebody's little heathen baby. What's that, Jackie? Nah, we'll see. Well, we'll see. We're going through a lot of this stuff. So every now and then somebody posts up a web page in the bottom that I can use if I want. Well, I don't know who we're with right now. What do you mean, CNN? I don't know. You mean CNN and Fox? Put them side by side? I don't have to think about that.
Oh, cool. Sea drone attack. So I guess we're on the drone. That's the ship we saw listing.
Yeah.
And that's about where they keep the magazine, in the middle of the ship, isn't it?
That's what they were going for.
Yeah. magazine people. That's where they keep all the munitions, gunpowder, and flammable liquids.
You better stop blowing up Moscow. Russia's going to get pissed sooner or later.
Yeah.
What? That's pretty, but that ain't nothing.
Yeah. This is the one we were looking at earlier. Yeah. So I guess we're looking through the plane that's about to land, where there's a plane about to take off on the same runway.
So you almost killed a bunch of people because of what?
Stupidity. Someone messed up in the tower. Is that Titan?
What is it? Doesn't say.
Yeah.
Oh, it does say. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Titan captured by the James Webb satellite or telescope.
Yeah, more and more it's looking like Titan's going to have life on it.
That definitely looks like an atmosphere bloom.
Yeah.
Well, that changes my formula for how many planets are or did have life on this in this solar system. That brings.
Well, I think they said Titan, Europa, and some other ones got atmospheres. I'm pretty sure it's going to have life.
Well, so this is the way it works. We know for a fact one has life. That's Earth. We know one had life. That's Mars. We know one probably has life. That's Venus. 90% chance. We know that Europa. It's either Europa or Io. I can't remember. One of them is frozen, and there's a liquid underneath the ice because the ice moves like plate tectonics. So that probably has life. The other one, Io again or Europa, I can't remember, is the most volcanically active satellite in the solar system. It will eventually have an atmosphere, and then now Titan. So that brings it up to 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 now. 6 planets that might have life.
This is Jay's girlfriend, not this chick. This one right here.
Oh God.
That's Jay's girlfriend. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It's Jeffrey's girlfriend. I apologize. This is who Jeffrey Pritchett sees on the side. He's having an affair with her.
Geography of Bliss. Is that her book?
Of course, that's what everybody said about you.
Yeah.
And that's what they said about Trump. And y'all did it anyway.
It distracts from his success. What success? What did he do successful? Make gas go up $5? Come on. Yeah, especially if you hit it, took it off the book. So why aren't these two in jail? Oh, Joe, you're buying tea on Amazon.
Hey, get off of there. Oh, you know what's funny about this tea? There's a one of our artists from Illustrators does
Yeah.
this fancy tea she does.
I remember that interview. That was because I said I recognize your work. Is this? And then it was all Twinings. That was amazing. And they do make a good tea. I like their Earl Grey. It's pretty good. Is this the one you were talking about on the other show where he had the guy fired?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
This here is just stuff where Joe Biden was on the phone with big wigs from like the companies.
Yeah, like this Ari Fleischer guy. Well, I mean, that alone, if he actually interfered and had someone bribe someone to fire someone, that he should be in jail, shouldn't he?
Well, so let's see if she's going to say it or not. So wait, hold on, we'll stop there for a second. So what he did is he was in the Ukraine doing business, and before he got ready to leave, he got on a stage and said that if you want the $1 billion, he called him and told him, if you want the $1 billion, that the prosecutor doing Burisma right now has to be fired and somebody else has to be hired or no $1 billion. And the president of Ukraine, I think, responded as well. Obama gave it to us. He said, well, why don't you call him and see? And so he said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If he's not fired in 6 hours, no $1 billion. The guy was fired before he left. If that's not an abuse of power, I don't know what the hell that is. And make it worse, Joe Biden gets on there and brags about it.
Yeah, and he got caught. He said he would deny it, and then he's got the video that removes all doubt.
Yeah. I'll see if we can find it while this is on. Let's see.
You remember that old phrase, better to let people think you're a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt?
Yeah,
that is Joe Biden.
Let's see. But there it is.
Yeah. Wow. You're fired. The perfect end to that story would be.
So, Devin, you just stop right there for a minute, Devin. You just hold on for 1 second. So, people, I think I found what I wanted to show you. So, let me find us again because I'm off on the deep end, some other world at the moment. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, that's not us. Oh, there we are, StreamYard. So, we got to remove this one right quick. And then we got to add to stream. Let's see. No, that's not what we want to remove. Oh, come on. I don't worry about my camera at the moment. I want this thing removed. I don't want to add it to stream. I want it to stop. Stop screen. Thank you. All right. You gotta love things sometimes when they don't want to work right. Now wait. What the hell's going on here? Hey guys, I don't exactly know what just weirded out on my computer about. I have no idea what just happened.
Mercury retrograde.
I lost myself. I lost Jay. I lost any options.
I just turned my camera off so we could see those news stories a little bigger.
Okay, let me get this up here. Okay, go back to present. It just everything just disappeared. There we go. Here we go. Sorry it took so long, guys. This is for y'all. Let's go ahead and put we like this already.
Don't worry, people. Joe's been on the radio some 20 years. He'll get it together one day.
Okay, guys, that's absolutely and totally illegal. Just so y'all know that he broke the law completely. With just completely broke the law. I'm not sure what the hell he thought was going on there, why he thought he could get away with that, but he absolutely totally broke the law. So you can't leverage somebody on money that we're giving you for something. You can't even leverage somebody with money just because in this country it's against the law.
Especially, I mean, if he's using U.S. aid for Ukraine as bribe, that's our money we paid in taxes to the government for them to use.
Well, the thing about it is the money had already been guaranteed to him. It was already given to him. He was just over there announcing it as it was a press deal, a picture opportunity. But at this point, the guy he's talking about had started investigating not just Burisma, but his son. And that's why he wanted the guy fired. So right there, when he knew this guy was investigating his son, he should have stepped away from it and just left it alone. But he didn't.
But why would he intervene on his son's behalf? Does he know his son is doing stuff under the table, doing things illegally? It has to be. If his son wasn't doing anything wrong, a proper politician would have allowed his son to go through that trial and come out clean the other end. But no, we have a little bit of treachery going on there.
And we do. It's all right. Let me see if we get this going again. Hey, there we are. Well, no, guys, sometimes I didn't put my hair up tonight, but it's just so much badness here. Yeah, I'm gonna put the other one back on in just a second. It's let me find it again. That's it right there. Nope, that ain't it. It's this one right here. Oh no, it ain't either one of these, is it? What is this? What is this? Well, that's us.
It's us, yeah.
I was putting us on people. that was just a bit weird. No, that was just a bit weird. I mean, I don't exactly know what the hell that was, but let's see if we can find the last one we were looking at. Where was it? Where was it? Share screen. No, I don't think we can. I don't. No, this is software here, people, on how to make something. This is that Chat GDP AI software. Yes.
Well, that was pretty neat, the other show.
Let's see what this one is. Oh yeah, this is where we were. Okay. Let's see. Now y'all just heard this guy say this.
Are we waiting on a video of Joe Biden admitting about the bribery?
Yeah, you know how much shit they gave Trump for not letting all the tapes out of him being talked.
Yeah, he also put up a big stink about releasing his tax forms for the election, which I don't think is a parameter. I don't think you have to divulge that.
You shouldn't have been.
I mean, if they need to make sure you're up and up, that I'm sure that IRS can do an audit, without your knowledge and see if you've been paying. But I don't think it's required to be president.
No, guys, what can I tell y'all? Oh, look, we just were looking at the chat GDP on my computer, and look, they're talking about it right here. Oh, it's worth $22.6 billion. Oh, wow. I'm not exactly sure that happens, but okay. Another video. This one's from the Hill. I mean, these things are a dime a dozen now. For years, oh, we don't see no UFOs in the sky. No, what the hell? That's true. But now they're just a dime a dozen. I mean, literally, they're everywhere.
Yeah, this is one of those A-tip ones that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah. But I mean, I seen the other day they had a new one out, and then somebody else was showing a new one, and another military guy in Mexico was showing a new one, and I was like, really? And it just keeps, they just keep popping up and popping up. But again, just recently, what 4 years ago, oh, we ain't never seen a military. Oh, military guys don't see UFOs. What are you talking about? But apparently they do. Well, I'm just saying, people, it just shows you the amount of bullshit that goes on. Well, it's not the pilots lying to you; it's the other people keeping secrets from you.
Yeah,
pilots do their job; they report it.
It's like you said on Wednesday's show. You haven't spoken to a Navy pilot that hasn't seen one.
What do you mean? Who? Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but that's a lie. You're talking about the moon landing, right? Yeah, that was a lie. Oh, what's his name? Not Steelberg. Who was it? He said he made all the models for the moon landing.
I don't know, but I do know that they say Stanley Kubrick directed it.
Yeah. So, well, I think that's who made the models too. It's well, people. So let me. I always ask the same question. Why did the Russians lie for us? And why are the Russians still lying for us? I mean, what is it that the United States has on Russia that it won't tell the world that we didn't go to the moon? Well, y'all are the ones out here doing all this research. We didn't go to the moon. I'm asking you to tell me why. But for that matter, why is China keeping the secret? Shit, worse than that. Oh, I know Kim Jong-un can't see yet. But China and Russia can see. They have satellites around the moon. And you know what?
Didn't China send something up near the equipment that we left behind?
Yeah, China suggested that we should add a plaque. They said they'd do it for us. Go and put a plaque on the rover, because we left the rover behind in the bottom of the lander. It was left behind. Well, people. There's actually shit left behind on the moon. You can see from satellite.
Physical equipment left behind.
If
you have a good 10-power telescope or higher, you can see the landing sites. You can see the stuff we left behind. You can see the flags.
It's just, those flags will never go bad. Well, maybe radiation eventually will kill them. It was funny to me. I won a $5,000 bet. This is like, I don't know. I was 5 years in the radio, 3 years in the radio. This guy comes on, and I had just talked with a couple of astronauts a couple of weeks before this, because the Apollo, Mercury, and Gemini guys were like heroes to me. So anytime I get a chance to talk to them, so one of the questions that came up is, why does a flag crinkle and wiggle and shit? So every time somebody tells me that somebody's evidence that the landing went real, there's no wind on the moon. Well, first off, there is cosmic wind, so don't think there's nothing that flows through there. But that's not what causes this. They inserted a wire in the top and the bottom of the flag to give it the illusion that it was blowing in the air. Science fact. Check it out for
Yeah,
yourself.
and some of the people that say that it's blowing the wind, it's when the astronaut is handling the flagpole and trying to put it into the ground, and the flag moves. Why? Because the astronaut is moving it physically, so the flag moves. Once he sets it down, it stops wiggling.
Uh-oh. Trump and Biden will not be on the 2024
Yeah, what
presidential
kind of
ticket.
clickbait is that? Anti-woke candidate instead.
Anti-woke might win. They might win, but who's that going to be? DeSantis.
Yeah.
Right now, so people, look, we'll go. I'll pull up some polls in a minute, but all right. So there's a couple weird things going on in our country right now. Let me get this off so you can see Jay and I's lovely face. Trump's lawyers could probably tie this up until after the 2024 election if they wanted to. And then you can't indict a sitting president if he wins.
Yeah.
And then most of the shit would go away because of statute of limitations. So I'm not exactly sure why people don't think now they could get this, they could win or lose the case early on and give him time to go in front of the Supreme Court, which of course is going to rule in Trump's favor. Yeah, see, in the end, Trump's going to probably walk out of this no matter what. It just depends how it's going to play out.
If the scenario where he wins presidency and it's tied up all that time, then the statutes go away. So,
but even if he don't win the presidency, the Supreme Court's going to overturn any of these guys do to him.
He's not going to jail.
So a friend of mine came and read the DOJ indictments. That they're garbage, people. That's so much garbage. The guy should be put in jail for even bringing those charges. And then, wait, no, I thought they were over Jan 6. That's not even what they're over. Yeah, so you need to go listen for yourself. The guy in New York, most of those should already be passed. I don't know how that's going to play out. And it really doesn't have much to do. And as far as having the top secret documents in, if they put Trump in jail for that, they're going to have to go back and get Clinton. They're going to have to go back and get Hillary. They're going to have to go back and get Biden. They're going to have to go back and get Pence. Probably Obama, probably Bush. I'm just saying. That's probably what's going to happen. Because you can't have a double standard because the people aren't going to put up with it. And then you have to be very careful here, and this is why. So before they indicted Trump, he was 16 points behind Biden and about 10 points behind DeSantis. When the New York guy indicted him, he got within, I think, 8 points of Biden and gained another 10 points in DeSantis. When the Georgia stuff came through, he gained another 5 points on each one of them. So with the DOJ indictments the other day, because he had 3 indictments of 72 counts and 3 indictments, and currently right now he's 30 points ahead of DeSantis, and neck and neck with Biden. Depending on what poll you look at, he's either 3 or 4 points ahead or 2 or 3 points behind. And since the averages are usually 3 points a poll, it means it's neck and neck.
It's dead even. And like I said on the Wednesday show, that they're basically paying for, it was last Friday's show, they're paying for his campaign. They're making his numbers go up by trying to smear his name through the mud. And it's backfiring.
And what's hurting them the most is they should have learned this lesson with the Russian thing because they lost in the Russia thing. And then, of course, they came out and said it was just Hillary was just trying. The special counsel came out and said all that stuff about none of it was true, and Hillary was just trying to win the election. And that's exactly what's going on here. Well, they know Biden can't win an up-and-up election right now. Once they debate, it's over with. Biden's done. His record's just not going to stand up. Trump's record's much better than Biden's is.
Oh, yeah.
No, I ain't voting for either one of the bastards. I'd vote for DeSantis. Yeah. Who? The California guy. No, he's an idiot. He's not going to win. He can't beat DeSantis now. See, because everybody wants to go to Florida, everybody's leaving California.
Yeah.
That right there kind of gives you who's the better guy off the bat.
Both states have very similar topography and weather, so.
Yeah. Texas is going to go red. Florida will probably go red this time. And most of your major states, well, no, you should get either gain in the Senate or take it over, or more than likely it's going to be a GOP president because Biden's an idiot. Come on, gas went up again. So I was the other day thinking, oh, it's 285. It's starting to go down. Well, I went to go get gas today. It was 259. I mean, 359. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's like 385, 390 up here.
You know, guys, I drive 150 miles round trip every day. I mean, this sucks. And you know, when I was a kid, diesel was 25 cents a gallon. Today, it's $5 a gallon. What kind of bullshit is that?
Yeah. When I started driving, they still sold leaded gas, but unleaded was 89 cents a gallon. You could literally go to the gas station / convenience store, go into the store, spend $5 on gas and $5 on booze and cigarettes, get back in your car and get change. Walk out with change.
I used to pay 59 cents a gallon for gas and 39 cents a pack for cigarettes.
Yeah, I was $1.05 for cigarettes, $2.35 for a 6-pack of Milwaukee's Best, and then $5 for gas. I have a half a tank of gas to go wherever I want, and change in my pocket. Now you go to the gas station with $20, you walk away with $0.
But in all fairness, people, gas had to be cheap because 2 of my cars only got like 8 miles to a gallon.
Yeah.
Oh no, them fuckers like you'd actually watch the needle. If you were going fast, you'd watch the needle.
Those big cars actually just go.
You know, like we had an Oldsmobile 98 with a 455 rocket in it. I mean, it was a beast of an engine, and boy, but it would suck the gas now. Well,
Yeah.
it's part of life. But you know, nowadays we do have cars. They are emission-free cars now. Well, they learned something. So with all this control stuff we put on them today, you know, they already reduce emissions quite a bit. California standards are ridiculous. I mean, they really reduce them a lot. But a gentleman just recently found that you can put a box on them. So, you know, you have, whatchamacallits on the mufflers. What are they? What's the other? Catalytic converters. So catalytic converters are catching this stuff, convert and sending it back out. And by the way, if you ever get your converters changed, don't let your mechanic bullshit you. The old ones are actually worth money. Actually, a nice chunk of money for whatever's inside of the converters. And I found that out just recently. So, but with the converters, they have this new box they can put on, and the system is filtered through there, and it scrubs it. So everything coming out is clean, and you can just change the filters periodically. I think they said you probably have a normal driver have to change them like once a month, and just wrap them up, put them in things, send them to be recycled. And even those are very, very little. He said, really and truly, if we truly wanted to, we could do what they call a water recycle, where there was just a little bit of water in your car that allowed it. He would cool the stuff, and instead of going to air, it would just go on the ground, and you could have a system to clean it up. But we don't really need it. Now, Janice, I know what you're talking about, the electric cars that are connected to a grid. Mm-hmm. So you have a thing. So your highways are basically electric grids. No, you're not going to have a thing that channels in, because most drivers would have to have an autopilot for that. No, most of y'all could not stay on the hook or stay in the hook on the ground.
And it'd be like slot cars without the slot.
Yeah, so this would be, the whole street will be produce electricity, but at a very low amperage, because if people step on it, they would die. So, and you know what? We might not even have to worry about that, because I'm getting my flying car. I'm getting my flying car. I'm getting my flying car, and I'm gonna fly around in the sky in my flying car. After we watch, you know, a couple of 100 people crash and burn.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They sound pretty cool. Well, I thought they just had wheels on them. You could land them and take off, but they can actually roll on the road. You can drive them on the highway.
Yeah.
I don't know how fast they're going to be. Well, they're basically just big-ass drones is what they are that hold you. That's what they are, really. Drone technology has been a boost all the way around. First off, we didn't know we could run 4 electric engines so cheaply and so efficiently with these drones and get so much life out of a battery. I was talking with Jay about this the other day. So they found something in a blue crab that will make lithium obsolete, and it's not dangerous like lithium is. It doesn't explode and shit. Well, lithium is highly contaminated. I noticed that, first off, just all the strip mine alone and the contaminants from that is ridiculous, and you have to rebuild all that back, so it's costly. But then You have to
the damage
dispose.
to the earth from strip mining it.
And plus the leaking of the lithium coming out of the earth, leaching of the lithium coming out of Earth. And then what you're going to have is all these lithium batteries that have to be disposed after about 10 years.
Yeah.
And you got to dispose somewhere because if they get too hot, they explode.
10 years is a generous thing.
That is a generous thing.
Working in the construction business, what is the warranty on your Ryobi and your Milwaukee lithium batteries? 3 years. What is the expected lifespan? 5.
Yeah. Well, you'll get long out. I mean, I got drills around the house that are 10, 12 years old, but that's the drill. The batteries get changed periodically every 3 or 4 or 5 years. We get new batteries for. Well,
Even when it was the old nickel cadmium style batteries, they only lasted 3 or 4 or 5 years tops before they could no longer take a charge.
No, we all like the lithium better because you get more power out of them and for a longer period of time.
Gas
and they're lighter. Yeah, and they're lighter too to boot. That's a plus. But lithium is dangerous, and when you dispose of it, it's dangerous. And when you're talking about the size of car batteries, and you have to dispose, these are going to be leaching in the ground in place. It's going to be a nightmare if we get too many of these in the road. But my question's always been for all my electric car friends is, okay, so you got to use electricity to power these cars. So unless you got some thing from Back to the Future where you're catching it off a rod with electricity or something,
or you have Mr. Fusion.
Yeah, Mr. Fusion. You have to get power off the grid. So for every car added to the grid, that's going to be a couple of kilowatts. A couple of not kilowatts. I forget which one it is.
Well, they're going to charge them up. It's a minimum 30 amp circuit. That's what your dryer runs on.
Yeah.
No,
it's going to take a lot of energy, people. And then, so California said they want to have 5 million within by 2030. California can't even roll. They have them rolling out Sorry for the language, guys. When they have to roll the electricity out from time to time because they got to turn it off. Rolling blackout. Sorry. New York will probably end up having before summer's over, and that's not with electric cars. So let's say California adds 5 million electric cars, and they haven't updated the grid at all. Well, what does that mean? That means you're going to have to make a choice between your air conditioner and your electric car. That's what that means.
Or drying your clothes.
Or drying your clothes. Yeah. So it takes a little while to charge a car, up to 8 hours to charge them fully for a lot of them.
Yeah, your AC unit draws 60 amps. That's twice as much as your car. You have the two of them on the same line, guess what? Boop, your circuit breaker just exploded.
They're just, in the future they may be better, but right now they're just not what we think they are. Oh, I remember the first electric car, the little aluminum box thing they had, the electric, it was so stupid looking. They paid me money to get in that thing. It looked like a death trap. Mm-hmm. It's like those little, I can't remember the names of them. They look like the things you would see on Grape Ape that he put on his foot and ride around on. Some of these cars are tiny. Look, people, when you drive as much as I do, you don't want to be. My car's small enough. I kind of wish I was in my truck sometimes when I'm on the interstate. So, something about that silver gray. It's a Camry. People just don't see it all the time. That's a pretty little car. It's fast as hell and it handles great.
Yeah. I got a 21 Camry. It works great. Or not 2020 Camry.
They're good cars. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're good cars. Well, if you're going to buy one, I would recommend anything from 2015 to present. The older ones, like they're different. So the 2018 to 2019 to 2015 to 14, they're like the one I got downstairs. They're not quite like the one he's got. One he's got, it's an inch wider. It's got the cut fence in the front. They're a little bit different. It's not a lot different, but
more leg room in front.
They have more leg room in front. They don't handle as good though, but they're faster, and they get a little bit of gas mileage too.
Yeah, I'm pulling about average 30 miles a gallon. Yeah. I only drive 4 miles to work, so I can put in $10 worth of gas, and if I only go to work, that $10 will power my car for a 30-day trip. 30 days to and from work. Yeah.
Well, I drive 70 miles in, 70 miles back, plus whatever I drive around. But even with city drive, my car's averaging 30 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm acting like an ass, it'll drop down to like 29.5. But it is one of the best handling cars I've ever driven. I had rented a 2023 when I went out to Ukraine. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It didn't quite handle as well as mine did on deep turns, but I think it's because it's a little bit wider. It's just set up a little bit different. And it could just be I wasn't used to the suspension either.
Well, and they also, if you got a 2023 model or 2023 model, they've got lane drift avoidance kind of stuff. They have mine practically. It isn't auto drive, but I can let go of the steering wheel, and if I have all the lane drift assistance stuff on and my cruise control is run by radar now. So if there's a car in front of me, it detects that car, so it slows itself down. I don't have to like turn the cruise control off and then manually power the car behind another vehicle, which is really neat. But we'll follow the contours of the road. The car will steer itself because it's got sensors that detect the lines on the road. It's like one step away from like Demolition Man auto drive stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of strange how but these days, I mean, I seen Chevy the other days, they're announcing on their truck, full auto drive now. You know, they're driving now doing like this.
GMC truck.
Yeah, GMC. Well, Tesla says they got full auto drive. I'm not trusting any. Even Googling them and some of the big truck companies,
they're still having trouble with it. But
they have full auto drive out there, but they always have a driver in the truck or the car with them.
Yeah, you can't. It's not like a drone. You can't send the car off to go pick you up yet. But you can sit in it and monitor it, and if there's if it's going to make a mistake, you can override and go to manual.
What happens to Uber and Lyft after we go there?
It'll become like Total Recall. It'll be like those Johnny Cabs, remotely controlled, public transportation.
Well, we're getting AI now, so it won't be a big fetch to put a little car together like that and send it out to get you. Well, I'm just wondering what humans are going to be doing in 50 years. Playing video game all day? What? I mean, a lot of jobs that are around today aren't going to be around.
In the video game in 50 years,
Yeah, you will just merge into it. Well, I'm just saying, people, a lot of jobs that are here today are going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of electronics jobs, a lot of writing jobs, a lot of illustrating jobs, a lot of just everyday jobs like taxi cab stuff. Even McDonald's is flirting with two fully automated restaurants. I've been to one of them. It's pretty good. It did a pretty good job.
Step. If you go to any of the newer ones, they always have like 2 or 3 kiosks where you can order your stuff and then just pick it up at the pickup counter. You don't ever have to interact with a human being.
Now, I do like what's one thing I do like a McDonald's kiosk. So I bitch about Lowe's and Home Depot and some of the grocery stores where they want you to bag your own stuff and do it yourself. Yeah. Okay, if you're going to make me do that, then I want a discount on my stuff. I mean, come on. I mean, I should be getting service or I should be getting a discount, one or the other.
I feel the same way. If you do self-checkout and have to bag your stuff, that you should get a 5% discount.
Yeah, you should get a discount.
It's not a lot, but it basically in most states, that's tax-free, almost tax-free.
Yeah, so I just think they should give you a damn discount or hire some people and let them get up there. And what happens is in some of the busiest stores, people start screwing up. They get nervous when they're at the kiosks because people are getting in line next day and there's no registers open. So it's making for a problem. The guy down here at the one in New Orleans, I asked him, I said, why ain't you got any registers open? He said, man, we're having a hard time finding people too. He said, we're offering anywhere from 15 to 20 and we're not getting any bites. I'm like, what?
It's one of the hardest positions to keep at Lowe's and Home Depot is the cashiers. They're the front end and last end. They're usually the first person the customer sees is either a customer service agent or a greeter or someone at the register, and on their way out, there's that same person or even another register person they see. And if they've had any kind of a bad experience on the way in or out, that last register that they go to, that cashier is going to hear the full brunt of it. And at some point, that cashier can't take anymore, and they just quit. There's just too much stress. It's almost as bad as being a cop or a fireman.
They go through a lot. But you know what's weird? Because, okay, well, we used to do business before Katrina went Lowe's. First off, I knew everybody in the store. Nobody ever left. They also gave commissions back then. And even the cashiers were there forever. And then after Katrina came through our town, I have never seen a cashier last more than a few weeks, maybe a couple of months. Some of them might transfer out to other stores, but And the store we shop in is the busiest store in the state, so it's insane in there. But I mean, they want to stay in business because now they're losing business to Home Depot. Because when you go in Home Depot right now, they got 8, 10, 12 people on the floor. And if you're going to use one of the things, the girl's going to come up there and talk to you while you do it and help you go through it. So, but you know what? If you went to Home Depot a couple of months ago, like 6 months ago, they would have been where Lowe's is today. So you just never know which one of these two stores is going to be the one to go into. I'm honest, Pete. I shop in both of them. So sometimes Home Depot is better, sometimes Lowe's is better, and you don't know until you get in them.
I've worked in both, and it's just like Joe says. Depending on the market, it's up and down. They are properly staffed, or they are not. And in most cases, especially with the slower markets, like my store is considered a rural market. We're out in the middle of the sticks. We sell farm equipment. We sell like those metal wrought iron tube fences. We sell that stuff for keeping your cattle and horses in line. But that's the nature of the business. It's up and down, and especially with people having been going through the COVID thing the last 2 years. Cashier participation has dropped off because they, like I said, they get the last angry customer, and after you've been yelled at and called a piece of shit or whatever they want to call you, whatever names they use on you, you're done. You don't want to go back to that. So I mean, it's understandable, but it does suck.
It does. I know. Yeah, we're gonna actually get out a little early. So I want to wait. What you want? Joe Biden's corrupt. I'm not sure that there's ever been a non-corrupt president. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I'm not feeling.
Honest Abe, yeah.
So a good friend of mine recently had to pay up some money on Abraham Lincoln because he's a friend of mine. No, he's black. So we talked about Abraham Lincoln. I said, after the war, Abraham wanted to send all the black people back to Africa. No, that's not true. That's just a misnomer. I said, no. I said, you can put your money on it. He said, yeah, because that's just bullshit. And I said, okay. I said, hold on. And pulled out my phone. I said, here you go. He's like, son of a. He's like, why? I said, because he wasn't. I said, Abraham was kind of scared of where this was going to go in the country. He didn't know what to
more
expect.
Conflict down the road.
He thought it was going to cause more problems for the country all the way around. And so that's what he wanted to do. Of course, John Wilkes Booth killed him off, which everybody hates him, but, maybe black people shouldn't hate him that much because they're still in the country.
Yeah. There were several plans that he had. It was either going to be some sort of reservation for blacks only somewhere out west. He's going to dump them on Puerto Rico or Cuba, or just some random island in the West Indies. Just capture everybody and put them there.
Well, and that's the thing. When people, I was listening to a friend of mine the other day. Said, "Well, America had so many slaves." I said, "No, we only got 2% of all the slaves caught in Africa." He said, "You're kidding me." I'm like, "No, look it up for yourself." I said, the problem with all this is there's a lot of lies that were told. And I said, the other day they were talking about reparations, and I'm like, well, from who? I'm not paying reparations. My family never owned slaves. Screw that.
Well, both sides of my family weren't even in this country until way after.
Then you know what? Mine might have not been either. So I'm kind of like, no, that ain't going to happen. But what bothers me more is, you want reparations, fine. But let's talk about the Native Americans first. Because so the other day, a friend of mine, he's going on and on. He's a host on Black Entertainment Network, and he's going on, and he's like, "But Joe, some people deserve it." I said, "Maybe." I said, "You don't deserve it. You live better than I do, dude. I'm gonna get the hell out of here." I said, "You're having a great life," and I said, "Most of my friends that are black aren't having great lives." I said, "So that's just being greedy, is what that is." I said, and I said, "Not everybody's gonna qualify, and that's gonna make trouble." And I said, I just don't know. And then if you start going around and you go give 14% of our population $400,000 each, it's going to cause problems in this country. Not just in the financial hardship it's going to add, but it's going to cause trouble with the Jews. It's going to cause trouble with the Chinese. It's going to cause trouble with the Native Americans. And it's going to cause trouble with the whites. I said,
wasn't there a thing when after the blacks were freed and released? Wasn't it that each was given 40 acres and a mule? Is that not? Didn't that?
It is true. So that's another thing that has to be found out.
How people felt back then.
So what they're going to have to figure out is, so that's another thing that was brought up. If your family took reparations back then, you're not eligible for reparations today. California's already been talking about that, and so if you took it way back when, then you're not. But that's not even it. So let's stop for a minute and go to World War II. So the Jews wanted reparations for being slaughtered and used as slaves. Can't really hate on them, but the Germans said no because they weren't the ones actually using them. People like Porsche was using them, and Volkswagen was using them. So these companies are the ones that paid reparation, not the country. So personally, I think if anybody's going to be paid reparation, it should be by two people: the ones who caught and sold the slaves, which was the Zulu, and a group of pirates, and any plantation companies that bought them that are still in existence today, or any families that bought them are still in existence today. They should pay reparations. But you're expecting, remember this, people, 98% of Americans did not own slaves. Sorry, but that's the truth. And therefore, you're asking a big chunk of the country, but it's not even that. Again, I want to go back to something else. So let's compare the way blacks live today, and let's compare the way Native Americans live today. Have y'all been on an Indian reservation? I have been. It looks like an Indian reservation from 200 years ago. Half of them don't even have freaking running water. Most of them don't have doctors.
Some of them don't even have electricity.
They don't. A lot of them don't. So, well, no, there's the rich ones. No, there's the rich ones. They got some that have plutonium on their reservations and some that have casinos.
Yep, or the few tribes that have been lucky enough to do their own gambling situations where they're making money for the community through the gambling industry.
Yeah, so Jesse, so what you're saying is so they don't deserve reparations. I agree, they don't. But then for black people, if they're successful, they don't deserve it either if you're going to play that game. But Native Americans are being treated far worse than anybody in our country right now. And we're talking about reparations to a lot of people who don't need it. Oh, there's people who need them, Bruce, but there's a lot of people who want them that don't need them. It's one of the things that's just going to cause trouble in our country. The Democrats use it as a voting tool. Oh, no, they're trying to do it in California. No, they really are. But California is doing it to try to get
forgiveness on student loans. Both are the same issue, no matter how you look at it. Student loans, reparations. It's a big ticket issue for any presidential candidate, particularly a Democrat, to get into the office.
Well, they said if California gives out the money it wants to give out in reparations, it'll be bankrupt in 2 years. That's California's business. I don't live in California. California can do whatever they want. No, they can do whatever they want.
They do whatever they want anyway. So, I mean, if they're going to do it, they'll do it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that they'll collapse. I don't know if they'll go bankrupt. But, they do have the recreational and the medical marijuana industry, which probably help keep them afloat.
Yeah. They, well, no, because they're losing so many people. So they're not expected the growth in population for a while. So their latest forecast says in 6 to 8 years, losing 3 to 5 million people over that time frame. So that will make them smaller in Texas. Texas will become the largest state in the union.
But the best California can hope for is a bunch of teenagers get a hold of some recreational weed, get high, get pregnant, and repopulate the state.
Yeah, Jackie, it's true, though. The entire West Coast right now has issues. Seattle just got a bad rep after all that shit that happened up there. Nobody wants to go up there. All my friends that live up there are still kind of antsy about what happened. Oregon's, both of them tried the mandatory $15 hour raise. A bunch of people moved outside of the areas where the mandatory raises were, took their restaurants out. Because, what happens is, okay, we're going to give the waitress $15 an hour and tips. So in the old days, when I started working, a waitress has made about $1.35. Yeah, what they made, and minimum wage is probably around $2.50 or something, $3.
Right. When I started as a waiter, minimum wage I think was $4.50, $4.75, something like that. But as a waiter, you were making $2.17 an hour.
But you were usually making quite a bit of money in tips.
Oh yeah, if you're in a good place, you could walk $100, $200 easy.
A good waiter or waitress down here can make $1,000, $1,500 a week easy plus their salary. So now we're going to give them, a paycheck of $600 a week plus tips. That's just not going to. A lot of people are going to cut back on their tips.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
because the dinner prices are going to go up, and a lot of companies now are saying they want the tips put into a pot, and they want 10% of them, and they need to be evenly distributed amongst the waiters and waitresses. Well, that sucks for the really good ones, and really good for the really bad ones.
Right? Yeah, the ones that suck are going to get more money than they deserve.
Actually, Rick, that's not true. When I was young, I worked as a busboy at a restaurant called Drew Track. I got promoted to car parker. I was like 15 at the time. and it was a really high end restaurant. So on an average night car parking, I would make $300 to $500. This is like 1977, 78, 79, somewhere around there. Yeah, that's a lot of money, dude. It's a lot of money back then.
When I was in college, I to supplement income, I worked at the Chart House, and I had 3 jobs there. I was either the oyster bar guy who made your appetizers, I was the Gunga Din who made salads and brought water to the tables, or I was the dishwasher. When I was the oyster bar guy making appetizers, I got my own tips. If on a good night, busy night, I'd walk with $100. If I was the Gunga Din inside the waiter station making their salads and water for their tables, they had to tip me out at the end of the night. I'd walk with about $60, $70 a night. If I was the dishwasher, at the end of the night, all of the waiters had to tip me out. At the end of the night, as a dishwasher, I walked with about $50, $60. That went into the bar next door that we all went to and drank at the end of our shifts. But that was income.
Yeah.
All the waiters had to tip me out, no matter what I did. I got my own tips at the oyster bar, plus tip outs from the waiters, and then a couple times I was bartender, and that was really good. I made about $190 as bartender, but I only did that once in a while. But it's good money. You can if you're good at your job, you can walk with.
Well, when I first got out of the Navy, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. So a friend of mine owned a bar called the Hideout, and I mean, I was 20. I was in fantastic shape. I figured, you know what? I'll go play around because I had been putting out applications at different places around the country and locally, and so I said, I'll just hang out here. My problem with this place was it was a great bar, lots of people. Everybody ever wanted to tip me in, one word I can't say, in drugs, and I was like, no, I want the money.
Yeah.
What do you mean I can't? I can't. It's a P word. How's that? Yeah, I can't say what it is. It's a thing that women have. How's that? I just said I was in great shape. I was good looking. I met a lot of people, a lot of drunken women coming through there. It was a great bar. And I made good money there. It's just for some reason, people felt the need that they wanted to give you drugs or they wanted to, pay it off in other ways. And I was like, no. So finally, I told the owner, I put up a sign, tips are only allowed in cash, nothing else. And he started laughing. He said, "What's?" I said, "Dude, this is ridiculous in this place." I dated my first, not Mormon chick, Jesuit chick. She was a Jesuit. They're weird. Not Jesuit. Oh, Josh, whatever they call it.
Jehovah's?
Well, yeah, they live in big groups and stuff.
Jehovah's Witness?
I think that's what she was. And she used to drive this little Volkswagen with automatic,
That sounds like a Jehovah.
It was an automatic stick is what it was. We dated for a while. She was very strange. She always used to try to talk me into coming over to their place where they all lived. I said no.
Yeah.
She's like, I said, I don't want to meet them people. I have no interest in that. She's like, why? She said, you told. I said, I don't like religion. I ain't never going to like religion. And people, what did I say just the other night? Didn't I tell you I'll never like religion? And here we are 40 years later saying the same damn thing. Yeah, it's just one of them things.
At the bar I used to hang out in Savannah, they had a bar, a jar on the back of the bar that said tipping. It is not a city in China.
I know. Pay them tips, people. Pay them tips. Now, every now and then, I'd get somebody come through and tip me like $100. Just give me $100. Well, people are telling you back in the 70s and 80s, $100 was a lot of money. It ain't like today. Today, $100 is like a 20. Mm-hmm. It used to be, you break a 20, it's gone. You break 100, it's gone. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. What do you mean? We'll start having $1,000 bills. That'll be after I'm gone. Where? He lives in Pittsburgh.
No, I'm closer to Harrisburg. I'm between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, about 3 hours to either one.
Oh, so either way it goes, he's in Sin City, and not the good Sin City.
Yeah. Tomorrow, though, the city of Waynesboro, we have the Harry Potter Wizarding Weekend, so it has become Borogon Alley down the street. Instead of Diagon Alley, it's Borogon Alley. You can go buy your wands and your wizarding stuff.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. My buddy and I are going over there, checking it out tomorrow morning.
Jack, I'm the same way. I do Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh all the time. It's one of them things. One's a city, one's a state. I know.
Yeah.
I do it. I used to do it all the time. I still do from time to time. Well, I do know a Bigfoot personally who lives in Pennsylvania. His name is Sean Kelly. He wears like an 18 or something. Yeah, he's Bigfoot, people. Scary looking guy. Smells like a skunk ape too.
Yeah.
Hope he ain't listening, Sean. I'm just teasing, man. All right, one more question because we got to go. Message bullshit. What is this? Stephanie Ray. Stephanie Ray, I'm a ray of sunshine. I bless the world with my light. Really? Really? Is that what you wrote up there? Oh, okay. Why don't I like Biden? Jay, why didn't you like Biden?
Well, because I don't like paying $5 a gallon of gas. You know, I don't have that far to go. That's a lot of money.
So let me put it this way, people. So when Trump was president, I was paying on average about $2.25 a week for groceries, and sometimes I could even skip a week. Okay,
Yeah.
you get a different
You
method.
could put $200 worth of groceries in your refrigerator in your kitchen and not have to go for 2 weeks.
Yeah. So now I'm spending $375 to $400, and I'm still not quite getting what I was getting before. And then I got to go outside and gas because I was only paying 99 cents a gallon for gas, and now I'm paying $3.49 or something.
Yeah.
People, I mean, come on, you know how much money that's taking them. So I already had to spend a bunch of fucking savings over COVID, which I think the government should give us back, and because they bullshitted us. And then, and on top of that, now COVID's over, and they're still sucking me dry with outrageous prices.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I ain't rich like you people out there. Okay, I can't just keep spending money.
Yeah, we just had a plank of plywood was $11.07. I think it went up to like $23.
Oh yeah, it's crazy what it is now.
Almost
I
double.
cuss Home Depot and Lowe's every time I go into it lately. We used to get y'all's cheap blinds. I think they were $3.79 and $4.79 a thing up to a certain size, and but there was bunches of sizes you get. Oh no, I think now they're like 8 or 10 or something. I'm like, come on, stop it.
The worst example I have was when I was at the Home Depot. The Biden turned off that Canada pipeline, and plastics are made with fossil fuels. So we used to sell a half-inch stick of gray electrical conduit. It was like $1.56 a stick, maybe a little under $2 after tax. After they closed down that pipeline, those things went up to $7.56 a stick, after tax over $10. Nobody could afford it. Not the big electrical companies, not the small electrical dude. They couldn't afford it.
Yeah, because that's eating up your profit. Because when you start adding in there, a lot of owners and business people are going to be like, "Well, I don't understand why it costs so much." Well, maybe you should go thank your president for that.
Yep.
Yeah. One of my customers got mad at me because he's a liberal. I said, "Dude, don't blame me for prices." I said, "Under Trump, you were paying almost 70% less than you're paying right now between materials and labor."
How much was milk during the Trump administration? $3 a gallon. Now it's over $5.
See, for us, it was $1.79 a gallon.
Yeah.
Eggs
Well,
were 99
in
cents.
rural areas. It's going to be a different price for you.
It's cheaper down here.
Yeah. Same with beef, and you're also close to the coast where the refineries are, so your gas is always going to be a little bit cheaper, but you're still paying upwards of $3.50 a gallon.
And it's funny. Right now, if you go to one of the gas towns like St. Bernard Parish isn't far from here, gas will be, because they're right there where the refineries are, it'll be about $2.49 a gallon right now.
Yeah.
So when it's right, and it's supposed to be, they pay well under $1 a gallon. But they need to, because they're just little shithole towns that they're just oil company towns. Most of them are going to probably die of freaking cancer from living in the town.
Yeah. Up here a couple of weeks ago, we have this convenience store, gas station company called Sheetz, a little mom and pop company, but they got about 1,500 stores over 5 states. They lowered their gas prices to it was $1.17. It was $17.76. It was for Independence Day, I guess. And they clogged up the city. They clogged up Hagerstown. There were so many people in line to get their gas at $1.1776 a gallon that you couldn't get into that store and out within 5 minutes. It was a half-hour trip.
Yeah, and they were betting people would buy more inside because they would stay. Because I remember doing it.
Yeah.
I remember doing a gas crisis. We were making money moving people's cars. We'd take their cars to gas. We'd get like 10, 12, 14 cars, and just keep moving them, swapping, and bring one back, come back. Because the gas line sometimes were 2 hours, 3 hours to get, and then it was even days and odd days, and that's when gas went for us from 59 cents to $1. It was 99 cents after that. Forever it was 99 cents, and then after that it started. I was like, fuck it, we're getting screwed. But we got to go, people. What's that, Janine? Oh yeah, so I don't remember where I was when I was surfing, but I'm sure you can just type in "partying in the Ukraine during the war." Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. There's supposed to be YouTube videos up as well. No, they're going out tonight. The night. Well, you can't blame them from nightclubbing. I mean, they're about to frickin' die. So.
I mean, that's one way to get rid of stress. Go out and get drunk.
No, I agree, Denise. They're going to keep blowing shit up in Moscow, and he's going to have a reason to go do some serious damage or something. Well, I don't understand. Ukraine for them logged on for 10 years. So is this going to be another 10 years? I don't even know if he'll be alive in 10 years. And then on top of that, who's going to take over? They're going to keep the war going because Medvedev said we should be nuked. Not us. He's talking about the Ukraine, but he did say whoever's giving all his weapons to him should be nuked too. And I'm thinking, yeah, go ahead, Medvedev. So Medvedev's idea is to nuke Kiev with a low-yield tactical nuke, and then the Ukraine would surrender. Probably. Yeah, but more than likely, London, or I should say the UK, has already said if they use nukes, they will feel the need to retaliate for the Ukraine and probably blow up Moscow. Well, if that happens.
And if not that, at the very least, spark off World War III.
Yeah. Well, the Ukraine had really said something about taking out the Black Sea port with a low-yield tactical nuke if they attacked Kyiv. And of course, Russia will feel a need to blow something up in the Ukraine, and if they do that, I mean in the UK, then us and NATO will feel a need to go to war.
Yeah, we'll be obligated to do that. We won't feel it. We'll have to.
And it's bad right now because we've been steady moving troops towards Russia for a while now in a bunch of different countries. I don't know if Russia knows what they're headed for. And China, who wanted to go invade Taiwan, is thinking all the experts go, oh, they're going to invade Taiwan. No, I don't think they are. I think they're learning a Russian from Russia here. First off, the whole world's going to turn on them and cut them off, which means they have no more money. See, China's all great as long as everybody's buying product from them. Once we quit buying product from them, and you can see their national debt is almost double ours now because nobody's buying product anymore from them. Thanks to the Wuhan shit, that did more damage to them. I mean, Britain cut them off for 2 years, 3 years. And everybody's still leery about what they buy.
Some of the programs that Trump put into place, getting companies not to, produce and or buy from China, kind of helped that escalate.
Yeah, and a lot of these companies are starting to manufacture here now, which is good. We need to. We should have a manufacturing course in case we do go to war. Well, see, that's what helps China people. See, when World War II came, the United States we had plants all over the United States. It was easy to retool them. Right now, we don't. We got a lot of abandoned ones, tore ones that will be harder to retool them. China, on the other hand, has got them all over the place, and they've got 1 billion workers to go work them.
Mm-hmm.
But the U.S. first thing we'll do is cut off any supplies to their asses will be cut off. But unfortunately for China, a lot of what they need comes from outside their country, especially for weapons grade stuff. Yeah. Yes, it'll be like, where you going? Oh, watch this. Oh, wait, we're going to sink your submarine. Oh, no, we're going to sink your carrier. Oh, which you only got 2 of. We'll probably sink them first day just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
And along with one of their fleets. I don't know, guys. I would leave the American fleet alone. It ain't as big as it used to be, but I'd leave it alone because I think if you piss it off, it's going to be like,
it may not be as big as we used to be, but the assets we have and the weapons that are out that are deployed, what's that? The Zarkov, the stealth destroyer, it's got a rail gun on it.
Oh yeah, the Zimwalt. Yeah, it's actually going to port.
Yeah, that's it.
They're sending it to port right now to put new guns on it because they said until the ammunition price comes down, they can't afford to shoot the railgun bullets. So they've actually got railguns for all 3 of these ships. There's 2 railguns per ships. I've seen the railguns in action twice. They rip through shit like they're butter. They just cut ships in half. They can actually cut them into pieces. Ain't nothing stopping them.
What have you got? It's an aluminum caseless shell that's going near the speed of light.
It's wicked, is what it is. Well, the ammo has to be designed in a particular way, guys. Yeah, but we got to go. I'm glad y'all had a good time tonight. I'm glad y'all let us. Well, no, we'll start playing more clips. In the old days, we used to play a lot of clips, but late. I just wanted to get a little UFOs talking tonight because people have been bugging me, but still, I don't see that big of a response in the chat groups and all for it. So I just thought people would be more. I don't know. I noticed even the field's not getting. Only thing I heard somebody say, "Well, blue phones double lip size." I said, "So went from 2,500 to 5,000. Big deal." Um, you'd think it'd be more like 50,000.
Yeah, they've had some scandal over the past few years too. So,
yeah. What? No, Carly, I don't know who to tell you that I'm not a director for MUFON. I worked for MUFON a long, 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 long time ago. I left them because they became the black hole of Calcutta. Didn't no matter what you sent them, you never got anything back. And then when you went looking for stuff, you couldn't find it. Yeah, I was friends with Walt Anderson. Rest his soul, may he rest his soul in peace. But he joined ICAR. I don't know. We're talking 20 years ago on Wake Up USA. We were talking and he found out what I was doing. And he went. My wife met him first. She made friends with him first by like jumping on him and hugging him and crying for 10 minutes. Well, because he helped. We met him when there was a lot of weird stuff going on in our life, and he was a help. Even though he wasn't big into alien abduction stuff, that's scary. It scares me sometimes, and I'm into the stuff. So if I could see it now, I'd be talking to Congress and blah, 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 blah. The half the bitches would be so scared they'd probably quit. Oh, yeah. Or either that, they'd be a geologist or no, polygraph. See, that's the difference between me and most witnesses. I'd let you polygraph me. Not even a problem. Because nothing I'm saying is not going to be the truth. There's no reason to lie about what I know. The only thing we keep secret in this organization is people's names, numbers, and faces. You have to have a disclosure agreement to release anybody's personal information. Yes. Other than that, and some abduction criteria we keep safe because, frankly, if we were to release it all, I'd never know who was lying and telling the truth. It would be easier to cheat when you have the information. As it is, we release stuff in the early days that I see all over now, people using to prove they're abductees, but then it falls short of where it should be. Don't try to fool me. You're going to be wasting mine and your time. Oh, you want to be a sexy alien beast? Well, Jay's single. He said, "Yeah, come on up." He's up there in Yankee Land. He said, "Bring your alien blow-ups with you."
Yeah, we're only famous up here for the Kecksburg incident. We need some more UFO stuff to happen up here.
Kecksburg incident, yeah. It's it's true. There ain't much in Pennsylvania. You don't hear much about Pennsylvania and aliens.
No,
that's because Pennsylvania people will shoot their fucking asses. That's why.
Yeah, probably.
They like the Kuyons. Oh, I know you hear a lot of. You only hear a lot down here along the coast, not so much inward. Every state's got a UFO story. Yeah. Maybe you know what? Maybe we should do a book on the most famous UFO story in each state. That would make a good book. I shouldn't have said that on there. Anyway, we got to go, guys. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. I hope y'all had some fun or learned something or something along the line. Any moans, bones, bitches, or gripes, please write to Michelle DeRochier at michellederochier.com. No, really, write to Michelle DeRochier. She likes that kind of stuff. I don't. She does. Good night, everybody.